Sports. We are Blackmore. We are Minnesota. For 25 years, your home for Minnesota Twins baseball.
After winning 4 of 7 games on a West Coast road trip, the Twins are back at home. They open a 6-game homestand tonight with the first of 3 against the red-hot Kansas City Royals. Joe Mauer back in the lineup for Minnesota. His twin daughters just about a week old. Mauer will be in for the Twins for the first time since last Monday night in Anaheim. Kansas City, on the other hand, arrives in town riding a 6-game win streak that has them sitting at 500. The Royals are 5 games out in the wild card race. Tonight, Mike Pelfrey will go for Minnesota. Pelfrey pitched well against the Royals earlier this season. He has been very good in his last 4 starts with an ERA just over 2 1/4. Meanwhile, Ervin Santana, 5-3 in his career against Minnesota, will start for the Royals. Santana looks for win number 7 this season. With Ron Coomer, I'm Anthony LaPanta. Welcome to Target Field in Minneapolis, where we get a look at 2 of the hottest teams in baseball. Kansas City's won 6 in a row on the strength of a surging pitching staff.
Well, they have been surging, Anthony, and they've been doing a lot of things right as a team. But when you talk about the Royals right now, you got to talk about the pitching. This guy throwing tonight, Santana, very good. We've seen a lot of these guys through the years, but adding 2 quality starters has really picked them up, and then also has helped their bullpen, because now these guys are going deeper in ballgames, so the bullpen is staying fresher, pitching very well. You see the Minnesota Twins this series, the matchup, to me, the Twins 8-4 played very well in the last 12 games. Defensively, they've been phenomenal all over the field, up the middle especially. The dynamic duo has turned a lot of double plays and really done a good job. To me, defensive pitching, how you win games. Both these teams have been doing that.
As recently as 2011, the Twins were 28th in the league in defense. Now only 3 teams have a better fielding percentage. Only one has turned more double plays. Mike Pelfrey goes to the mound tonight. Can he slow Billy Butler and the Royals? Dick Kramer, Tom Kelly, next.
Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Bud Light, music first. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go.
Tonight, the opening game of a 3-game series with the Royals, opening game of a 6-game homestand. The American League Central very well represented on this graphic. Hottest teams in the American League since the All-Star break. The Twins, Indians, Tigers, and Royals are all on the list. Kansas City takes a 6-game winning streak into the game here tonight. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven, because of the trading deadline tomorrow, has been pulled from his start tonight. We're very happy to have Tom Kelly in the booth with us once again tonight. What the Twins hoped they would get from Mike Pelfrey when they signed him in the offseason was improvement as the season went along. They expected some rough moments early in the first couple months of the season, and they have seen that improvement.
Yeah, they have, and again, Pelfrey's been pitching into the games. Got to get into the games, 6+, 7+ innings. Let Gardy and Andy keep the bullpen intact. That's the big key for all the starters. Get into the game, keep the bullpen in position to be successful. None of this 4 innings, 5 inning stuff and get out. It ain't going to work. There's no formula for winning. So quicker innings, quicker innings, quicker innings. And of course, Billy Butler, the main nemesis of the Twins, 18-game hitting streak against the Twins. But let's keep them other guys off base just in case he comes up. And now nobody on base, he can't hurt you too bad. But again, Hosmer, wonderful job getting going again this second. Really solidified the offense for the Royals.
We'll see if the Twins can break the hex they've experienced this year against the Royals. Game 1 of a 6-game homestand. The Twins happy to be home at the end of the month of July.
It was a very successful road trip for the Twins. Even more impressive the fact that they won 4 games on the road, with Joe Mauer missing most of the road trip. He flew home for the birth of his twin daughters. They are still doing fine. They're still in the hospital, and Mauer able to rejoin the Twins lineup here tonight. Ned Yost has seen his team catch fire, and it took a 6-game winning streak to get them back to the 500 mark. But the Royals figure they can benefit from the off day yesterday and maybe continue some good baseball. Here's their Menards batting order. Alex Gordon leading off. Eric Hosmer batting second. Billy Butler protected by Salvador Perez. David Lowe, Miguel Tejada, Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, and Gerard Dyson.
Mike Pelfrey, outstanding. Last 4 starts. I just like to see the pitch count each inning. Try to stay at a minimum. 14, 13, 12, something like that. Enable Mike to get pitch into the 7th inning. Keep the bullpen intact. It's a big key for a big horse like this, Mike Pelfrey. He's done outstanding last 4 starts. He's improved immensely from the beginning of the season. Let's not, remember that 1 year removed from that Tommy John. So I think he's doing a terrific job.
And the first pitch on the outside corner to Alex Gordon.
Everybody's friend, Angel Hernandez behind the plate tonight, Richard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this series goes. Controversy seems to swirl around the home plate umpire. Gordon hit a game-winning home run to wrap up the Kansas City sweep in Chicago. See Hernandez behind the plate. Paul Nauert, Doug Eddings, and Dana DeMuth on the bases. And the Royals have been waiting for Gordon to catch fire. Here's a ground ball headed up the middle, and a little bleeder starts his series. A single up the middle.
He got the fastball and I think got it in there pretty good, but Gordon was able to get decent part of the bat on the ball. And I think if anything, Dick, was just located in the right spot. He got it in the right area to get a base hit, but didn't hit it very hard, but he got it in a good spot.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Clay Thomas back in left. Aaron Hicks in center. Ryan Doman in right. Blue Florimone Carroll at second base. Not Dozier. We'll talk about that later. Justin Morneau at first. Joe Mauer behind the plate.
And Gordon has 6 stolen bases, and Hosmer's been on fire. So I think that they're probably going to allow Hosmer to hit. Oh, my.
He got it picked off. No, he just barely got back. He was starting to take his secondary lead, and Pelfrey timed his toss over to first perfectly.
That might have been some good scouting by the Twins coaches or our advanced scout and advanced work here, because Gordon, look at that very good dive back by Gordon. You see how he reached for the outside part of the bag. That's very, very important. Just to get back to Gordon, I'm sorry, Dick, but get back to Gordon. He looked like he was trying to get that walking lead there and probably just take off. And Mike did a super job. So I'm curious about if our staff was aware of that or had an eyeball on that from previous games. Because that was pretty impressive.
And a strike called, 1-1.
Wow. That didn't look like a strike.
It looked up and away. 1-1 to Eric Hosmer, who has recovered from a slow start and put up some pretty good numbers. The Royals are, as we said, waiting for Gordon to catch fire, and the third baseman Mike Moustakas. Long hold time called. Opponents are 7 for 9 against Pelfrey in stealing, but the Twins have allowed just 32 steals on the year.
Mike sometimes ends up picking his leg up some, and sometimes he uses the slide step. So again, it's all about how Mike gets rid of the ball, if he's going to give the catcher a chance.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. As much as Pelfrey has improved, he's out there to try to win ball games. Obviously, he has won just once in his last 12 starts.
He hasn't got much run support during this stretch, and as a result, got a few no decisions along the way. But he's, I think, just getting better and better each start he makes. So let's hope he keeps it going.
Fouled back. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome all of you. Thank you for your service. Dick Bramer and Tom Kelly with you tonight and tomorrow night, and then Bert Blyleven will jump back into the broadcast schedule this weekend when the Astros come to town. 1-2 to Hosmer. The fastball got him.
thought Mikey go with the high fastball there, and again he got it by Hosmer. Ball's up in the zone, son, and you see it's out of the zone. But I think that swing might be a result of the first one getting called a strike on Hosmer by the Angel back there, and maybe forced him to swing a little bit. But as we talked about in the past, the high fastball is the hardest pitch for the hitters to lay off of. It just, the ball looks a little bigger coming up there because that's your eye level, and you end up swinging at it. But again, good fastball by Mike, and got it in a good spot. Got Hosmer to chase.
Billy Butler, the batter, we showed you about the 18-game hitting streak against the Twins. Pelfrey, you saw him swatting some gnats that are swarming around the field here this week at Target Field. Inside, ball one. Butler putting up okay numbers, not the numbers he put up a year ago, but you know, this Royal lineup doesn't have a lot of power, and they really don't have anybody to protect Butler. You can imagine teams wanting to pitch him very, very carefully because there's not a slugger hitting behind him. Swing and a miss.
Another high fastball there. You remember now the Royals were off yesterday as well, so you know, I'm always a little skeptical about the days off and hitters maybe taking in that bat or two to get going again. But one day off, you would think it shouldn't matter, but sometimes it does. But out of the zone chasing is something that's good for us, bad for them. So we'll take it.
Popped up near first. Warno near the dugout has no play off the edge of the roof and back onto the field of play.
Maybe jammed up Butler with that one, Dick. He looks like Mike's going to try to get the ball in on Butler, and you know, it's always dangerous, but sometimes you get it in far enough. If they do get a swing at it, they're probably going to pull it foul. So again, but you have to make sure you get it inside enough where he's going to hit the ball foul, not hit it in the seats.
And it would seem to me, Tom, that you're maybe more apt to do that if you're throwing 95 than when you're throwing 91 or 92.
Well, Mike's ball moves pretty good now. He throws that little bit of a two-seamer that can dart in on a hitter, and sometimes he gets a little carried away with that. And might nick a guy here and there, but again, I sort of like the pitch, and I like the pitchers that know how to pitch inside. They are very, very effective.
Bauer sets up outside, and another strikeout. So Butler gone on a fastball down the way, two away in the inning.
Another fastball right on the outside corner here. It's a real impressive pitch. Inside with the first one and knock him back off the plate, and there's the high fastball. Got him to chase some. Back inside, fouled it off. And I guess set him up. Here we go on the outside part of the plate. And, you know, Billy Butler, I would have to think, I would have been skeptical about him throwing him. I thought he was going to throw it inside. He went back outside. Nice pitch.
Two down, Gordon still at first, and the pitch up and in to Salvador Perez.
Trying to keep the clock on Pelfrey, just see how quick he's going home, and he's alternating. He's gone quick at times, and sometimes he picks his leg up like we mentioned earlier, but it's about 1-3 to home when he picks his leg up, and that usually allows the hitter, or excuse me, the base runner to steal the base. And again, but 1-3 might give Joe a shot if he gets a good pitch to him.
Gordon 6 of 8 in stealing bases. Perez with a 1-0 count. Looper in the right field, and that'll drop in front of the right fielder Domet. On his way to third is Gordon. And Perez drops a single, first and third, 2 away.
Boy, he got jammed up here too. Look at Mike's ball, it's running in hard, and Perez is up and in, and he just fights it off here. And very lucky with the bloop. They count. I think Bert would call that a duck snort.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Looked like that ball actually ran and got inside the trademark of his bat.
That was inside the foul zone.
Here's David Lowe, who this season has put up really good numbers, but he had a whale of a game against the Twins the last time the Royals played here at Target Field. He started his day by getting 3 doubles, and then he finished the day with a home run. That's 4 extra base hits in 4 at-bats. That's pretty good.
I know. I remember when I played, and when I tried to play, it took me like a month to get there. Well, it wasn't pretty.
He only got 18 extra base hits on the season, and he got 4 of them in succession against the Twins. Fouled back, and it's 1-1.
Either Mikey's got a real good fastball and it's really live because they're very late in all their swings so far this evening. You see the balls are getting fouled off. Guys are getting jammed up pretty good. So I have to think that Mike's got a real good fastball.
16 pitches. Has he thrown anything but?
I don't think so. It looks like a lot of two-seamers, and then the ball's been elevated at times, and they've chased those. And then we got, remember getting Billy Butler right on the outside part of the plate.
1-1 to Lowe. Down the line.
No foul.
Slicing. Foul by about 4 feet.
That's that running fastball down and away. You're gonna have confidence.
Pedro Griffol, the solo hitting coach for the Royals. The last time the Royals were here, they had dual hitting coaches, Griffol and George Brett. And a few days ago, George said, that's enough. I've done what I can do. And so the Royals will go.
I think George did great. A lot of guys seem to improve, and maybe add a little zippity-doo-dah to the lineup. And again, the Royals are somewhat surging now. So, but it still goes back to that guy on that center of the field there where he's going to pitch the baseball. They're the ones that are going to get it done for you.
Popped up near third. Kloof crossing the line, ending the inning. 18 pitches, and we're told 16 fastballs, and a scoreless first inning. A scoreless top of the first inning. Ron Gardenhire hoping that the Twins can continue to play good baseball as they have since the series before the All-Star break. The Menards batting order for Game 1 with the Royals: Clay Thomas, Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Ryan Doumit, Chris Colabello, Trevor Plouffe, Aaron Hicks, and Pedro Florimon.
Yeah, Santana on the mound. He's had, in my mind, a wonderful career. He's over 500 in the career stats where he's got more wins than losses. That's pitches his innings. He doesn't walk too many people. Gets enough strikeouts when he needs one. I think this guy's been one of those journeyman type. I don't know if is that fair, journeyman type pitcher?
2 teams, probably not. Yeah.
So but he's been really a reliable guy. Whole career with the Angels and now with the Royals.
Royals got him for some cash to help pay the salary and a left-handed minor league pitcher. So they have gotten early returns on their investment. Here's Clay Thomas to start things off, and he takes up high, ball 1. We have grown accustomed to seeing Brian Dozier in the leadoff spot, but Dozier tweaked his back over the weekend in Seattle. Also suffered what is believed to be a minor injury to his left knee. The MRI has been taken and it's come back cleanly, or at least that's the way we were. It was described by Ron Gardenhire, 2-1 to Thomas, and so they're going to talk about how best to work Dozier back into the lineup, but not tonight.
I know when you get the back and the knee at the same time, you got to be awful careful. But the Twins training staff and doctors will certainly put Dozier back on the right path and get him going. But I know from personal experience, when you got both of them barking at you, it's a little bit tough.
2-2 to Thomas. Oh, just off the plate. That pitch might have been a strike on the top half of the inning.
It might have been a strike in the top half, but that was really a close pitch. I think it was just a touch outside. Just a touch.
Full count to Clete Thomas. Lifted foul into the seats. We got a cloudy day here in the Twin Cities area. No threat of rain. Very cool.
I'm sorry, late tonight I think Dick we've got a chance of getting some rain. Hopefully it stays away until we get these 9 or 8.5 innings in.
Line to center, sharp hit for Thomas, a great at bat, and he's aboard. The Twins did a leadoff single, as the Royals did a few moments ago. Northland Ford defense for the Royals. Alex Gordon as good as they get in left field. Gerard Dyson very speedy in center, and some speed in right too with David Lowe. Stackas, Escobar, Tejada, Hosmer, Salvador Perez, the best young catcher in the game today. Just thinking about the weather we had in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
And it was fantastic. It was the type of day you hope you get in Minnesota, and we get regularly in the summertime. Now we come to Minnesota, and this is more of a Seattle day.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly a Seattle day.
Here's Jamie Carroll, who will play at second base in the interim until Dozier gets back in the lineup. And he takes strike 1.
You got Jamie Carroll here. He's got behind in the count, 0-1, but I was thinking that Gardy might want to get some action going right away and get things moving, see if we can get the lead against the Royals and put them on the defensive a little bit. But again, Jamie's got it 0-2 now, so that's probably curtailed.
Breaking pitch for a called second strike. And protecting the plate, he flips one foul.
That's exactly right, protecting the plane. Jamie does a pretty good job of that. He's able to foul some pitches off, the real tough pitches. And these are the kind of things when you see your real good hitters, and comes to mind is Wade Boggs. He could foul off pitches, and a perennial batting champion. And I don't know how many he won, Dick, but he won like what,
8, I think.
Yeah, he was a big number, but he could foul pitches off unbelievable and find a pitch that he could hit and then sail one out into the outfield and get you another hit. But you know, had the longest at bats, 10, 12 pitches almost all the time. One of the toughest outs that I can remember managing against some people that Wade Boggs. And it's an art to be able to foul these pitches off, especially when you got those 2-strike counts.
Got a pitch up, fouled it back. Still 1-2 to Carroll. Santana going through a bit of a winning slump too. He's pitched very well, but he's won just 1 of his last 7 starts. So a couple of starters. Pelfrey 1 win in 12, and Santana 1 win in 7 starts.
Yeah, you never know. You pitch good, you don't get any run support, but you still got a job to do. Get out there and pitch the ball, give your team a chance to win, put them in position to win.
Kicks away from Perez, and Thomas stays put.
They threw that breaking ball there. He's going to throw a good one, that's for sure. At least it was towards the dirt.
2-2 to Carroll. Thomas goes, pitch chopped towards short. Escobar recovers to make the flip across the diamond. Carroll retired, and Thomas goes to second.
Well, a nice job by Jamie there, getting the bat to the ball, and we were somewhat fortunate. The Royals got to give Escobar some credit here. He holds his ground fairly well, and if the ball got hit to his right just a touch, it might have been a little more trouble for him, but he held his ground well and was able to make the out at first. But good job by Escobar.
Joe Mauer's return to the lineup after being home barely by about, he told me today, from the time his plane touched down, 41 minutes till his twin daughters were born. Thomas checked at second base.
Real nice pickoff throw by Santana. He shows that he's not afraid to throw the ball. Some pitchers get out there and you put these little pickoff plays on it, and they spin, but they don't never throw the ball because they're a little bit shy about throwing it. But you saw Santana just let her fly.
Liner to left, base hit. Thomas held up momentarily, but he's still going to be waved around.
Nothing to it.
Steps right back into the lineup with an RBI single.
That's what we call fresh horses for the men. Fresh hands. 1 week off, you're done, man. Unbelievable. Gets his fastball and just drills it out to left center.
First pitch, remember,
nothing to it.
In 2009, he missed the first month of the season, and in his first swing, hit a home run to left. So a sharp single to left center. And Hosmer probably admiring that as well. How do you miss what Joe has missed? And
you know, if you're watching the game, it's a good tool. We all saw where the pitch was. It was down on the outside part. It wasn't a bad pitch. It's a great pitch if the hitter tries to pull the ball, because it usually ends up to be a rollover to the second baseman, but not to Joe Mauer, because he just strokes it out. That's sort of right in his wampum type zone where he just lashes it out to left field or left center field. Another RBI on the board. Just wonderful hitting by Joe. It's a great tool for the kids that are watching, the younger hitters out there. Watch Joe Mauer attack the baseball, and it's something that Justin was working on today. I was watching, and down in the cage and underneath the outside the clubhouse, and Tom Bernansky, our hitting coach, Bruno were getting after it, really getting after it. Morney was working on driving some balls and keeping the bat through the hitting zone and driving that ball just like Joe did, just left central, just put it right out there. There's a lot of hits out that way, as Joe has proven over the years.
3-1 at the Royal infield, playing Borno to pull the ball. They've got the shortstop Escobar lined up almost directly behind the second base bag.
We saw Justin, 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, he got a lot of hits to left field. Then he started getting more pull crazy, and so that's ahead in the count, 3-1. They're going to move over. You got to respect, because Justin usually gets in that pull mode right about now. Another full count now. I'm sure they're going to stay where they're at, because they know what pitches they want to throw him. I don't know if he's going to throw the sinker down and away or just exactly what he's doing.
Power goes, and the pitch tap foul.
A little bit of an off-speed pitch there. I don't know if that was the changeup or the little slider. He likes that slider. Justin told me this afternoon that he likes to throw. Santana likes to throw him that slider, and I think that's what it was, about 84. So I know he's looking for it.
Moreno 6 for 24 with 3 home runs against Santana. Power goes again. The pitch fouled off the front leg.
Gardy's very confident that Justin's going to get the bat to the ball. That's why you're getting Joe run here. He's confident he's going to hit it or at least foul it off.
Against
not
Santana,
into the double play.
24 at bats, 4 strikeouts. So
got a chance to get the ball in.
Yeah.
Gardy's starting to run. That's exactly right. And Joe's got fresh legs too. Let's fresh.
3-2. Mauer goes again, and Moreno swipes at one. It's a strike him out, throw him out, but the Twins get a run on a pair of singles. Joe Mauer with an RBI single to put the Twins up 1-0.
Back at Target Field, Joe Mauer hit an RBI single in his first at-bat. His first game now as a dad. His twin girls were born Wednesday morning. Joe said it's hard to describe the feeling being a new dad.
It's pretty neat just to stare at them. You know, I probably stared at them for hours, when I was there at the hospital. And, yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling.
The babies were girls, Emily and Marin. They were born 5 weeks early, so they're still in the hospital, but they are healthy, and Joe says they are doing well. And he also says he has changed diapers, for those wondering. He has given the girls a bath as well. Dick and TK Mauer was giddy, downright giddy, as a proud papa today.
Thank you, Marnie. Yes, he was. I complimented him on how well rested he looked, but of course the babies are still in the hospital. That might change once they get home.
Yeah, that party's going to be over.
One strike to Miguel Tejada, and now a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, things change when kids come along.
Yeah.
We all know that, Richard, and Joe's life's certainly going to change. But he sure looked happy today. When I saw him in the dugout, he looked like he was looking forward to playing the game of baseball again, and he was very, very proud.
Outside 2-1. Miguel Tejada, the veteran, former league MVP as a shortstop, getting a chance to play some at second base. Chris Getz, the Royal second baseman, has a bit of a knee issue that's put him on the shelf for the last 4 ball games. 2-1. Fouled away.
Tejada gives that veteran influence too. I think that each young lineup needs to have at least 1 or 2 guys to add a little stability. Always count on a good quality at bat, sort of show the way to some of the younger guys, and not be an easy out. And that's what Miguel Tejada is in this lineup for. They add a little stability, a little know-how, because he certainly knows how to get the job done. There's no question about that.
2-2 to Tejada. And that's over Morno's head and drops for a base hit.
Boy, how many jam shots so far tonight.
Gordon got jammed. Perez got jammed, and now Tejada with a leadoff single in the second.
Everybody's got jammed except if you struck out. You didn't get jammed. My goodness. Fastball looks like it's really up in the zone some and running in hard on the right-handed hitters. We saw Masterson pitch last week against the Twins. I think that was last Sunday at home, and how he ran the ball in so hard on the Twins hitters and how effective he was. And it looks like that Pelfrey has that same sort of pitch tonight, running the fastball in very hard on the right-hand hitters. A little bit of a two-seamer that runs back in to the right-hand hitter, and it's been a very effective pitch for him so far.
Off-speed pitch misses to Mike Moustakas. 1-0. Off the plate with a fastball.
I don't think Tejada has the running speed that he had years ago earlier in his career, but he has no stolen base. I don't think he's attempted it either. So, but he's looking over at the coach for some signs.
Never know.
He's looking at Rusty Kuntz over there, and Rusty's shaking his head, no way.
And drifts high and wide, 3-0.
Joe's doing a good job here. Mike's got a little out of whack here. It looks like he's trying to incorporate the slide step. I don't think he needs to with Tejada running from first. So again, I think he can afford to pick up his leg here and maybe get back in the strike zone. A lot of times when they try to go a little too quick, Dick, as you've noticed over the years, they always leave the ball up in the zone because their arm never gets up in proper position to deliver the ball downhill. So sometimes they try to go a little too quick, and sometimes they don't have to go as quick as they think they need to.
Moustakas is green lighted here.
Much better.
And strike on the outside corner.
We saw, if you're watching now and you watch Mike deliver this pitch, he picks his leg way up and gives his arm a chance to get up in position, and he threw the ball much, much better. I'm sure he's going to have to do that again.
Three and one to Moustakas. Strike 2.
That was a little generous, I think, Richard. But we'll take it. Okay, here we go. Stockis can strike out, but I have to think if Ned's going to, Ned Yost, the manager of the Royals, is going to start his runner here. Have some confidence that his man's going to get the bat on the ball.
Tejada goes. And check swing. Did he go? Safe at second, and they'll appeal. No swing. And it's a walk, not a stolen base. A walk advancing Tejada to second.
It seemed Mikey tried to go a little too quick and left the ball up in the zone again. Whoa, wow.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
You can be a part of the broadcast by voting for who you think is the Arby's Value Player of the game. Text value to space, player's last name to 234-234. And let us know who you think had the most value in today's game. And we'll tell you the winner in the postgame show.
We'll see how Ned Yost wants to play and just where he's at with his ball club. Twins are thinking that the Royals are going to bunt here. Third baseman's in, first baseman's in, anticipating a bunt.
Escobar drops it down, and Pelfrey, he fouled it off his leg.
Second baseman and shortstop are playing double play position, but once he squared around the bunt, we saw Jamie Carroll dash towards first base. A lot of action when this play happens. A lot of people moving around, a lot of moving parts. The idea is to stay out of this position. Sometimes it happens.
Escobar coming back this year in terms of batting average. Had a really good year last year. Hasn't quite hit as well this year. Hit .293 last year. And back at .240 so far this year.
Our third baseman, Plouffe, in. Justin Morneau jockeying at second.
Squaring
a lot of moving parts.
A foul.
That's why we practice these things in spring training. They become second nature for the players, and you do it enough, you do it enough, you do it enough. It comes. You hope when the season starts, it becomes an instinct, and people react from all the practice time. And for the most part, our players are pretty sharp with all this, and we do it so many times. They better be.
2 strikes now to Escobar.
Trevor's going to back up just a touch, and Justin's moved back behind the runner at first.
Ooh, backhanded by Mauer.
Wow. Joe got a little lucky with this one here. This fastball is down and away, and Joe just sticks the glove out, and it bounced right in there. So not even a chance to really move. Consider us fortunate on that one, Richard?
Yeah,
I think so.
Pelfrey's gotten a couple of strikeouts already. He could use another one here. Foul.
Defensive swing by Escobar, but that's what he has to do. Fight off the tough pitches. Fight them off, fight them off. No easy outs. It's just what we preach to our young people, especially in the minor leagues, spring training. Never be an easy out. Respect your at-bats. Respect them. You get 4 a night if you're lucky. Make them count. You earn them by working hard and playing hard and practicing hard. So respect your at-bats and do the best you can with them. Don't be an easy out. Give the pitcher a battle.
Escobar battling Pelfrey. Bouncer to third. Plouffe goes to the bag. He'll only get one.
Good play. There's not much else Trevor can do with this ball. It's hit so slowly, and I think he did the right thing by going over and just tagging the bag at third and getting the force out. Still in position now for a grounder. Get the double play. This is another ball that gets in on the hitter. I think he shattered the bat. And Trevor did a good job just getting the one out.
Gerard Dyson, center fielder, with 2 men on and 1 out. Dyson, one of the fastest guys in the league, and he's getting a chance to play in center because Lorenzo Cain is rehabbing a little bit of a groin pull.
Now, when this guy gets a chance to run, he's been very successful, Dick. I think he's got 12 stolen bases and hasn't been caught yet. So, as you pointed out, speed's the name of his game, and he's hitting on the bottom of the lineup for a reason. But he is hitting .276, and doing a decent job. So, which is a lot of the backup players for the Royals have. They have a pretty good bench now, and I think over the past 7, 8 years, the bench hasn't been too strong, and Ned Yost now is team's gotten a little deeper, and they're I don't know about that, but dropping the Toki down, going to go for the bunt. I think I'd rather see our center fielder drive some runs in instead of laying the ball down. But, that's my own personal opinion. I'd rather see him swing the bat. But again, the bench is much stronger, I think, for the Royals than it has been in years. So their team is starting to come together, and it all has to do with having some better players and pitching well.
1-1 to Dyson. And now 1-2. One of the reasons he's hitting where he's hitting is a high number of strikeouts, about 1 every 4 times to the plate.
It's a little much for a guy that has speed. Let's hit the ball on the ground, run like the Dickens, because that's what he does well. He runs really well and plays good in the outfield, covers a lot of ground, and get the ball and play. Get the ball and play. Put the ball on the ground and run. And, striking out like that's not going to win you any points, that's for sure. Especially if you're going to play the outfield.
73 strikeouts for Dyson on the year. Pelfrey will try to get him here in the 2nd inning. And a long stare at the runner at second, Moustakas. Pelfrey looked in for his sign, went into the stretch, and just locked in on Moustakas for about 7 seconds.
I can't see Moustakas trying to run here at all. There's 2 strikes on the hitter, and the hitter's in a defensive position. You're pretty much going to have to do it on your own here. So again, I can't see him running.
There's a tall 3rd strike over the inside corner.
Away, everything away in the zone, away, and now he comes flying back in there. It's a nice pitch by Joe and Mike, and this is really a nice fastball.
2 down, 2 on, and Alex Gordon will hit.
I was trying to talk about earlier, Dick, putting up a fight, and just to put your head down and walk back, that's, I don't know, I have a hard time with that sometimes. You got to be able to fight the ball off, get yourself another pitch, foul it off, do the best you can, but just stand there and watch it go by, it's a little hard to take.
Fouled away. Justin Morneau struck out to, in essence, end the 1st inning for the Twins, and it wasn't a swing that Justin was proud of, but at least he swung the bat.
At least he swung, yeah. But again, you're right, he wasn't, I'm sure, proud of that, but again, at least he took a swing at it. Not like that. I watch so many hitters put their head down and walk back, and I always say to myself, that's not acceptable, and you got to do a better job than that. You strike out, but not like that.
1 strike to Gordon. Inside. It just seems to me, Tom, that there are more and more strikeouts, but more and more strikeouts looking than ever before in baseball.
No, I think it starts in the minor leagues, to be honest with you. A lot of guys, I see so many minor leaguers, they strike out and they put their head down and walk back like it's not really a big deal, and it is. And I'm not saying it's all our teams or our hitters. I see it a lot from the other teams as well. So again, it's for me, I cringe a lot of times during the spring training games and watch guys just walk back. It's sort of a waste of bat pad. Yeah, you're going to get fooled once in a while. We all do. But again, you got to learn how to put up a good battle and give it a good fight up there, and not just put your head down and walk back. It's not, for me, I just don't think it's acceptable. And again, we all get fooled, but I don't know, you have to do a better job than that.
Another meeting on the mound or near it. Bauer and Pelfrey trying to figure out how to get Gordon. Pelfrey had a long 1st inning with 18 pitches. He's actually thrown more here in the 2nd. The Royals stranded a pair of runners in the 1st, and Pelfrey will try to strand the 2 that are out there now.
In our conference call this morning, Dick, I think we talked just about this situation right here, where you saw Joe putting down some signs and Mike shaking his head, and Joe finally going out there and telling him what he thinks. And you don't know who's going to win these arguments. It's between the pitcher and the catcher. Usually the pitcher wins the argument, but again, the catcher has to go out there and say his piece and suggest the right pitch to throw here, and the pitcher has to trust him.
Came inside with a fastball, but he missed.
There's nothing wrong with that coming back in, that's for sure. But again, you see a lot of the head shaking by the catcher, especially by the pitcher. Excuse me. It's especially from the younger pitchers, and I just don't like it. I like for our younger guys to see what the catcher puts down and trust the catcher that he knows a little bit more about it than what you do, and trust the catcher and put down what he throws and throw the pitch that he suggests and trust him. But once you get it established a little bit, then you can go ahead and go. But again,
full count to Alex Gordon. We have a full rectangular strike zone tonight. The rectangle might be a little bit larger than normal. Full count, 2 on and 2 out. Back to Pelfrey. Royals leave 2 on in the first. They leave 2 on in the second. It's 1-0 Twins, and Ryan Doman will lead off the bottom of the second.
Today at Target Field, the Twins unveiled the official logo of the 2014 All-Star Game. It has Twins colors in it, navy and red. The tan represents the Minnesota limestone that's in the ballpark. The sky blue symbolizes the clear upper Midwest sky. And the Twins had their All-Stars, Joe Mauer, Glenn Perkins, Justin Morneau. They were all at the ceremony today. The All-Star Game comes to Minneapolis next summer, July 15th, Dick and TK.
Thank you, Marnie. It's going to be a fun ramp-up. Here's Dolan lifting it foul near the third baseline. Moustakas over. And he makes the catch on the warning track, going away. And our AT&T Twitter poll is All-Star Game related. What are you most excited about next year in Minneapolis? Tweet your answer using the following hashtags. The Futures Game, 2014 Home Run Derby, 2014 All-Star Game. Within the ceremony that was my pleasure to be a part of this afternoon, I had an interview with Justin Morneau, and he talked as much about the Home Run Derby. Of course, he won it a few years ago, participated in it twice, but he also talked about the 2 Futures Games that he played in. And I know for Perry Ryan, his trip to New York this year, consistent with other All-Star trips for him, he goes to see the Futures Game only.
Correct.
The All-Star Game, he can watch that on TV, but he wants to see the Futures Game in person. So I'll be curious what our viewers think in terms of what will be the biggest attraction next July. Chris Colabello. Yes,
You got it right now.
I asked Chris today. I said, look, I apologize if I've been saying it wrong in Colabello. And he goes, well, any way is fine. He gets called either way. But in true Italian, and if he doesn't strike out here, I'll try to replicate what he said was the true Italian pronunciation. It's Colabello.
You can handle that one.
Yeah. So we'll go with Colabello.
I have enough trouble. That's why I call him Chris.
Big series in Seattle for Chris Colabello. And even the foul balls just leave the bat differently.
Quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, they make a sound, too.
1 and 2. Couple of home runs on the road trip. 5 runs batted in. A big home run.
Had one taken away, too.
That's by Andy Chavez. You're right.
It was a great catch. Could have changed that game a little bit.
Tapper left side. Alcides Escobar.
That's that slider pitch that's down and away, and so far it's been a pretty good pitch for Santana.
Colabello on Friday. Driving one to right field in the 13th inning, leading the Twins to a 3-2 win.
You can hear the sound off the bat. That's what I like. That's the one I like. Boom.
And then, as Roy Smalley said, maybe as significant as the home runs themselves, where they were hit to the opposite field and to straightaway center. He's yet to hit one to the pull field.
Must be nice to be that strong.
Yeah. Trevor Plouffe, the batter, and he takes strike one. One and one.
It's that slider that Santana likes tonight. He's been throwing it about 83, 84, 85 miles per hour.
Bouncer to short. Easy play for Escobar. Plouffe retired. Santana has a much easier second inning as the Twins go down 1-2-3. Your link to what's next. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. Mike Pelfrey with an off-speed pitch, dropping it over the outside corner, or close enough to be, for it to be called strike one to Eric Hosmer.
Backdoor breaking ball. I don't know if it got there or not. We'll take it.
1-1. Hosmer, Butler, and Perez facing Pelfrey in the third. Entering the inning with 44 pitches thrown over 2. He's left 4 runners on. The leadoff man has gotten a single in each of the first 2 innings. Tapper up the line, and it'll hit the edge of the grass. They got there just a little bit too late. Good night for the home team last night. 3 walk-off home runs and a walk-off triple.
That had to be exciting. Walk-off triple.
Jason Giambi. And the Tampa Bay Rays 20-4 in July. A half-game lead in the East. And Francisco Liriano transitioning rather well to the National League and his new team. Rays, by the way, leading Arizona 3-0 in the 5th inning.
I saw that picture of Frankie there throwing a circle change. You know, you think of Frankie, you think of the fastball slider.
Right,
we show him a picture, he's going to throw a changeup. But I heard he's throwing a lot of changeups, per se. A lot of sinkers, fastball sinking, and changeup.
2-2 to Hosmer.
He is throwing the slider, but I think he's throwing a lot more sinkers and changeups than sliders. Oh.
Angel Hernandez looked like he flinched. It's a full count, 3-2.
Well, he's been calling that one.
Hosmer struck out swinging one after a high fastball his first time up against Pelfrey. Stalled it to center field. And Hosmer's aboard with a leadoff single. 3rd leadoff single for the Royals in as many innings. And that'll bring up Billy Butler.
That was a bullet. This is a fastball. I think it's right down Broadway, and there it goes. That's almost a diamond cutter.
Almost.
Pretty close. That's a nice swing by Hosmer. Well, I don't know about. That's a fastball down the middle, and you know you're heading the count, leadoff hitter. You got to be looking fastball, and he certainly did the right thing with it. He smashed it right up the middle.
More than any other hitter, Hosmer seemed to benefit from George Brett's presence. Here's a drive to center.
Unbelievable.
And Butler retired on 1 pitch.
I know it's irrelevant, but again, did anyone see the bat break? The bat ended up back against the backstop. You see the bat boy picking it up right now?
2 pieces up around home plate.
That was shattered. Billy wasn't going to get jammed on this one. He was going to get the bat head out, and he got it out there a little too quick. And I believe he hit it right off the end. Yeah. Oh my. That's a lot of action. Watch Angel Hernandez here. Watch Angel. If you can see Angel, the bat just missed him going by.
1 out, and here's Salvador Perez. Breaking pitch over for a strike. Anyway, Hosmer seemed to be the one guy who benefited the most from having George Brett as a co-hitting coach with the Royals.
Right.
Didn't work so well for Alex Gordon, and Gordon's swing more commonly, I guess, is compared to Brett's. Up and in. Mike Moustakas didn't really take to it.
Hosmer, he's really added a boost to the lineup because the first half of the season he didn't do much.
Right.
He was having a real hard time, but since George got there and started helping out some, and he really picked up. And now you see him play. He's got a smile on his face compared to before. He looked miserable to me. That's a nice pitch right on the outside corner. Get a chance to look at the numbers here of Hosmer's April through May, and not very attractive. 1 home run, 13 RBIs, and from May 30th to July 29th. Wow, quite a difference.
1-2. Salvador Perez. Sharply hit to left, a base hit.
Mikey tried to go back inside here with that running fastball that he's been using all night so far, and this one didn't quite get in there enough, and give Perez a little credit. One of the most up-and-coming hitters in the game.
You can set your compass due north Thursday nights on Fox Sports North. Join hosts Bill Shirk, Laura Schera. We'll take a look at the stories and adventures of outdoor enthusiasts all over the upper Midwest. Due North Outdoors Thursdays at 6:30 only on Fox Sports North. 5 hits and a walk from the first 13 batters. Here's David Lowe, who fouled out to Trevor Plouffe his first time up.
Get a ground ball here, Richard. Take the pain away.
Second time through the order, he's throwing more breaking pitches. He got a swinging strike.
Nice off-speed pitch. It's down in the zone. Way out in front of this one. Nice pitch. what you call cheating on the fastball. You get the off speed. You don't look too good.
Fastball low, 1-1. Royals have their work cut out for them. They're 5 games back in the wild card race. 7 games behind the Tigers.
You got a shot. You know, having a chance, that's what you want. You get to September 1st and have a chance. It's exciting for the players, the fans, everybody involved in the,
still on the line, foul again.
Any organization that has a chance in the final month of the season. It's an uplifting feeling for everybody. So, you know, the Royals have battled. They're working their way, trying to get on the right side of the ledger with that 500 record. And again, give them some credit. They've done a good job. Ned Yost and his staff, the front office, they're moving forward and going in the right direction.
One and 2 to David Lowe. Inside with a fastball, 2-2. Belfry has been under duress all night long, and we're just in the 3rd inning.
And if you're the manager in the dugout and the fans sitting at home watching, it's 2-2. If the count gets to 3-2, have you thought ahead where you're going to start your runners, or are you going to sit tight? Something to think about.
Popped up near the mound. Belfry will call for it himself.
There we go.
We'll put the infield fly up.
Contrary to what we saw a week ago.
Well, what'd you think of that? I
think it surprised the umpires. The ball wasn't hit very high, and I understand that part of it. And but to be honest, it surprised everybody. It could have been called, and I think if it was called, there probably wouldn't have been an argument from,
Social, right?
Yeah. So again, I'm sure they're laughing about that right now in the dugout about the infield fly. I think that was the proper call, and I actually thought it was the proper call in Anaheim, but I do think it surprised everybody.
Miguel Tejada with 2 men aboard and 2 out. That jam dropped a single over the head of Justin Morneau into short right field. Strike on the outside corner. 61 pitches already for Pelfrey. And he has had a hard time getting into a rhythm here because he's been pitching from the stretch pretty much the entire night.
That's official. There's no way around it. Yeah. He has.
1 strike to Tejada. And now a ball. You're talking about Tejada and his value to this Kansas City team and needing a veteran. We saw that in play in Seattle. Well, they've gone young, but they re-signed Raul Ibanez, who's been just a wonderful mentor for these young guys in Seattle.
Yep.
To a lesser extent, Jason Bay, who they designated for assignment after the game Sunday.
Can't blame him for that.
1-1. 1-2.
Now Miguel was a little tardy on that one. Mikey threw that ball right by him in '93, and I think that one got Miguel's attention.
Got jammed on a fastball in the 2nd inning and dropped his flare into right field.
I think Joe would want to throw it hard again here and throw him something soft. Might be right on time. So Mike's MO is usually throw a ball here. Oh, good pitch.
Right over the mound and into center field. It'll tie the game. A bounder over the mound, right over the second base bag. And Hosmer scores from second. And the Royals finally break through.
A C&I base hit right up the middle here. You know who hit that ball a lot, Dick? I hate to go way too far back, but number 34.
Yep.
He could hit that ball and it bounce up the middle somehow, and the next guy come up, hit the same ball, and the shortstop would catch it, throw you out at first. Had a hard time understanding how all that happened.
The Royals with 6 hits, the Twins with just 2. The game is tied, and here's Mike Moustakas, who drew a walk his first time up. And it's a cutter, something inside off the plate, ball 1.
That little cut slider thing down on in, about 86 miles an hour. Tries to cut it. Correa throws that same kind of pitch, which we'll see tomorrow night.
1-0 to Moustakas. 2-0.
Moustakas had that one called on him a couple times. Didn't think that was right up there in that zone. Get called a strike on him.
Pelfrey pitching to a 2.28 ERA in his last 4 starts, but is 1-2 in that time. Dangerous spot again here with the Royals threatening after scoring 1 run, and now a drive to deep right center field. Up and back and gone. A 3-run blast for Mike Moustakas, and suddenly it's 4-1.
This is what happens when you fall behind in the count. 2-0. You saw Hosmer hit when ahead in the count and just smashed one right up the middle. Here's another behind in the count, 2-0, and lays it in there. And this is a swing here. This is a bullet. Boom. That's right down the middle. It's down a little bit, but when them left-hand hitters are looking down, good fastball, that's their pitch, and they're going to drive it. This guy is very capable of doing that. I still think this Moustakas guy is going to be a good hitter when it's all said and done, Jake. I really do. I think the more experience he gets. But again, if you're going to hit ahead in the count like that, 2-0, a lot of guys improve.
A couple of big 2-out hits for the Royals. Tejada bouncing a single up the middle. Moustakas clubs a home run, and it's 4-1 Kansas City. Here's Escobar. To center, playable for Hicks, and the inning ends. But a big inning for the Royals. A very crooked number goes up in the top of the 3rd.
Drive base hit by Joe Mauer right here. Something Joe does very, very well. Taking those pitches down and away and just lacing them out. Here's a CNI single by Tejada here. It was a good at-bat. Give the veteran hitter some credit. He battled, and got a base hit. And unfortunately, Mike fell behind 2-0 on a very dangerous hitter in Moustakas and game of fastball, and it sort of got the center of the plate, and a lot of major league hitters get very, very good when they get ahead in the count like he did 2-0.
Aaron Hicks will lead off the third inning against Irvin Santana, who now has a 3-run lead, 1 strike. Where Pelfrey's gone through the Kansas City lineup nearly twice already. Here's Aaron Hicks, the 8th place batter, leading off the third inning.
It's that little slider, backdoor slider on the outside part, thrown toward the back door, outside corner to the left-handed hitters.
Hicks, Florimone, and Thomas trying to get one or more back here in the bottom of the third. Check the swing. And they'll appeal, no swing.
That's that little split finger, Dick, that I think it is a split finger that he uses as a changeup. That was a good one. That was down. Almost got Aaron to chase.
Santana's been mentioned in some trade rumors going out of Kansas City. Why a team in the fringes of contention would trade starting pitching, I don't know. 2-2.
Can't have enough starting pitching. I don't understand that either, Dick. I'd be surprised if that happened. They must be either they're sitting on something in the minor leagues that they want to use or go with, or just what, we don't know. But again, this guy's been, as we commented earlier on, he's been a pretty good pitcher over the years with the Angels and now with the Royals, and got a winning record. And you know, like you pointed out to us tonight, that it's 4 consecutive quality starts, and all against the Twins, but he's done a great job. He hasn't had much run support, but
Hicks takes one right down the middle on 3-2, 1 down. You can ask a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. And tonight's question from Craig in Apple Valley: how active do you expect the trading deadline to be around baseball this season, Tom?
Well, there's teams with needs, and whether they can work out. You've seen the Tigers trade. They got a closer from Houston club, Veras, I believe. And
right.
And then there's rumor that there's going to be some more stuff going on. Downs went to Angels, to the Braves. And again, we're going to see a number of pitchers, as you mentioned earlier, got their starts scratched tonight. And we went into that argument just a touch on why people were scheduled to pitch on the day before trade deadline. So that's a good discussion. But again, Peavy was one.
Right.
And somebody else, a pitcher
Bud
from
Norris.
Houston,
Bud
correct?
Norris, right. Yep.
Who's a pretty good. I don't know. I've never seen him pitch, but I understand he's okay.
2-1 to Florimone and a strike on the outside corner.
He was one of the starters that we're sort of looking forward to maybe seeing this weekend.
Right.
And whether he's still with the Houston club or not, I'm not sure. But I think you're going to see your normal activity. There might be a little bit of a rush tomorrow on some things, and people trying to fill in their needs.
Florimone takes a splitter in the dirt for a strikeout. A swing and a miss, 2 down.
But it always takes, just to finish the question, it always takes 2 teams. So both teams have to be satisfied with the trade, and so sometimes that's more difficult to do. But again, I don't think the Twins are going to be too active. I really don't. That's my opinion. I could be 100% wrong, which happens a lot. But again, I just don't think they're going to do much. I really don't.
The trade of note: the Indians got a left-handed reliever, Mark Sepchinski. They needed a left-handed reliever, and Cardinals dealt Sepchinski to the Indians.
Well, we've seen the bullpen from last weekend in Minneapolis here at Target Field, where their bullpen was a little bit of a mess, and I think we commented a few times how it needs to be shored up some, and lack of a left-hander.
Thomas with a lazy fly to center. Dyson with the catch, and the Twins go down again in the third. 1-2-3. against Mike Pelfrey. He'll hope to have a much quicker and easier fourth inning. Dick Bramer and Tom Kelly, joined by Tim Brosnan, who is the Executive Vice President Business for Major League Baseball. You're in town because of the logo unveiling for the All-Star game next year, and good to have you back in the Twin Cities. We've seen you quite regularly over the last year or so.
Oh, you're going to see me a lot more
next year.
You might even be tired of me after next July.
Well, to talk a little bit about the logo and what goes into who crafts it and who approves it and who puts the logo together.
Well, it's like everything that we'll do for the All-Star game. Our office thinks that we have a certain amount of expertise, but the All-Star game really has to have a local flavor for it to be ultimately successful. At the end of the day, you want the hometown fans to feel really good about hosting. So we'll come in with elements, but we talk to the Minnesota Twins. Dave and his staff, Dave St. Peter and his staff have been just terrific to work with so far. And they tell us what the iconic elements in town are that they think ought to be in the mark. So it's kind of a mix of fashion and icon, and that's what we come up with.
Well, it's a remarkable event. I've gone to a number of them just as a fan, and over the course of time, how it's developed from a one-day event, Tuesday, to then a three-day event, to now, as you advertise it, a five-day event that begins, the Saturday before the game on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Fan Fest opens on Friday, but if we're doing our job right, you'll start to see all-star activity, opening day and then on weekends before, not formal events, but reminders to the fans that this big event is coming to town. And, it's a celebration of the greatest players in the world, and anybody who wants to be a part of it should start making plans to be a part of it.
One down. Gerard Dyson fouled out to Trevor Plouffe. Alex Gordon has a single and a comebacker to the mound against Mike Pelfrey. And he's able to work a little bit more from the windup here after 3 leadoff singles in the first 3 innings. Well, you said that, starting on opening day next year, the ramp up will really speed up. But what types of things will the Twins fans see around the ballpark in the coming, not so much this year, but starting on opening day next year?
Again, you'll start to see indicia in the streets. This mark should be everywhere by the time opening day comes next year. The corporate partners get on the ground. They start to do promotions in the marketplace, and as early as kind of May, Memorial Weekend, you'll see corporate folks start to do things. Sign-ups for the various events. We usually do a big charity run on the Saturday of All-Star Weekend. You'll start to talk about sign-ups and locales, and if we're successful, there'll be other activities and announcements about other free public events. So again, on the ground, probably a Memorial Weekend and thereabouts, but signage-wise, you'll start to see it in the ballpark. I mean, you see it tonight in the ballpark, but this will start to spread. The All-Star Game mark will spread around town, and folks will start to wear the gear. And again, we will be in this town from opening day on next year.
I know from the ceremony we had on the field this afternoon, I went directly to the Pro Shop, the Twin souvenir store here at the ballpark. And the first, I think, 4 racks of clothing items I saw all had the logo on already, and that type of thing is available exclusively here and at the Twins Pro Shops, I think, for the next week, right?
Yeah, it's it's a special thing for Twins fans. Make it something that anybody can get it, but you can only get it from the Twins folks. It's a great looking mark. We're really proud of how it came out, and it's a chance for fans to express their excitement about it coming here next year. And anybody who's been to an All-Star game, I think, knows it's a really special event. And you guys here have been, you've hosted 2 of the really special All-Star games of all time. 18 Hall of Famers played in the All-Star game in '65, and then 14 Hall of Famers played in the All-Star game in '85. Had the first home run derby here. So there's a great All-Star legacy, along with just a great baseball tradition in this city. And the Pohlad family is so good to their fans, and we're just really pleased and really proud. The commissioner has an enormously long and close relationship with the Twins organization, everybody in baseball is really excited to be coming here to the Twin Cities.
Well, Tim, one of your points during your presentation this afternoon was this is a fairly small ballpark, capacity right around 40,000, but you wanted to make the point that through Fan Fest or some of the other activities going on, that you really want the whole region to feel like they can be a part of the All-Star game.
Yeah, the point of going to 5 days ultimately is that whether you have a seat here in the ballpark for the 3 days that there's events in the ballpark, if you want to get an All-Star game memory, one that you can kind of hold next to your heart and remember forever, it's available to you, and oftentimes for no money. I mean, the red carpet show that'll bring the ball players to the ballpark before the All-Star game itself, it's as close as lots and lots and lots of people are going to come to a Major League Baseball player in their lifetime, let alone the greatest players in the world who will parade, you know, right down the main street in town to come to the game. So it's again, there's an opportunity outside the ballpark to touch Major League Baseball and the All-Star events in a way that you might not be able to touch for another 30 years. It's kind of a lifetime opportunity, and we'd like every fan to be able to take part in it.
Ricky Anderson to the mound, and we've got a early call to the bullpen. Ryan Presley's warming up out there. Pelfrey's done such a good job eating up innings and not relying on his bullpen, at least through the early mid-innings, and now in jeopardy of being replaced in the fourth inning.
Too many pitches, Dick, and behind in too many counts.
The batter is Billy Butler with 2 men aboard and 1 out. Dick Bramer, Tom Kelly, joined by the Executive Vice President Business for Major League Baseball, Tim Brosnan, who came to town today for the unveiling of the 2014 All-Star logo, which now is being displayed in right center field here at Target Field. You'll see it locations all around the ballpark. And souvenirs available at the Majestic Team Store here at Target Field. Off the end of the bat. And a foul, 1-1. What did you learn about the All-Star game in New York? A different venue here. This is a downtown ballpark, and the downtown area here obviously is quite different than it is in New York.
Yeah, it's a little different. There's nothing like the caverns of Manhattan, but every place has its own character. And again, I think I said earlier, what we really work to do with the host club is take advantage of the unique character of every place. This is a magnificent ballpark, and the Twins should be excited. We're going to display this in the very best way that we can. You know, the All-Star game gets broadcast over 200 countries around the world, so it's a real opportunity to show folks what we already know, and that is what a spectacular setting this is for a ballpark here in downtown Minneapolis.
1-2 to Butler. Bouncer wide at third. And still 1-2. You mentioned the All-Star games held previously here, 1965. Back then it was a day game. I mean, the All-Star game.
One game in the afternoon, in and out.
Yep. And Harmon Killebrew hit a big home run in the game. National League won, as they always did back then. And then 1985, you mentioned the first home run hitting contest, but it was under a different format. It was the American League against the National League, and Tom Bernansky, the current Twins hitting coach, ended up hitting the home run that won the contest for the American League. And Tom, I believe you were his pitcher, right?
I was his pitcher, and Tommy wanted the ball out away from him, up and away, and I threw it down and in. I was trying to throw it where he wanted, but I threw it down and in, and he's popping him over the fence. He said, "Yeah, that's it. That's it." I got a nice commemorative picture to give it to me. It's really a nice picture.
And a changeup strikes out Butler, 2 away. And that'll bring up Salvador Perez. Tim, we couldn't be happier about the All-Star game coming here, and we are very proud of this ballpark and feel it is among baseball's best, if not the best ballpark, and we're hoping for good weather and a great showcase. I can't think of anything short of the World Series that could be a showcase for Major League Baseball better than the All-Star game.
Well, we can give you the All-Star game. We can't give you the World Series. That's why you're out here playing tonight.
The batter is Perez, and he takes ball 1.
Tim and I went to Japan together with in Mexico.
We went to Japan with an all-star tour. I think it was in 1992.
That's correct.
And then we went to Mexico in 93.
That's probably correct.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Mexico trip as well. So
You're trying to forget that Mexico
remember
trip.
We had the storm getting out of there.
And it was freezing cold. We didn't have any heat in the dugouts. Remember that?
It wasn't pleasant at all.
Andy McPhail gave me a lesson I'll never forget at that. He took me aside because I kept promising you guys I was going to have heaters. I was going to have heaters. I got to have heaters. He took me aside and said, I'm going to teach you a lesson that you should learn for the rest of your career, and that is don't promise anything that is not entirely within your control.
Nice catch by Carroll to wrap up the inning. A walk, a single, no damage done. It's 4-1. Tim, good to see you. Tim Brosnan, the Executive Vice President of Business for Major League Baseball, talking about next year's grand event, the All-Star Game here at Target Field. Pepsi fans of the game. We got a lot of fans here. Those are just our Pepsi fans of the game. Fox Sports North and the Twins have teamed up on a special campaign called Home Runs for Hunger, benefiting Feed My Starving Children. And for each home run hit, you can pledge a small donation of 22 cents or a larger donation, of $1.32. Once the Twins have hit 130 home runs, you'll donate either $29 or $172. And so far, 145 fans have pledged, and it would feed 306 children for a full year. We encourage you to help support this worthy cause. Go to visit fmsc.org/H4H, standing for Home Runs for Hunger. Jamie Carroll will lead off the fourth, hit a bouncer to short his first time up. Checked his swing, but he went, and it's 0-2. You can see the value if a pitcher has stuff like Santana has, getting ahead of hitters. We've seen a number of check swings for strikes and check swings for near strikes.
Excellent point, Dick. He's getting ahead, and able to throw that little funny pitch, a split finger to slow the hitters down, or speed them up rather, and then fastball and the slider.
Carroll lines a single to right. The fourth inning gets started with a base hit, and that'll bring up Joe Mauer. Mauer stepped in the batter's box, and on the very first pitch thrown to him, lined a sharp single to left center field.
Vintage Joe, that's for sure, and just stroked her out there like we've seen so many times. And he can hit that pitch as good as anybody. Good lesson for the kids out there. Don't be afraid to take the ball the opposite field, drive it the other way. A lot of hits over there.
Carroll with an opposite field single. We'll see what Mauer does here. And a strike.
Threw it again. Down and away.
Twins activated Mauer technically from the restricted list. They had to put him on that list for 2 days because he was missing more than the permissible allotted 3 days. 1-1.
I should be able to go home after that.
So Joe lost a couple days pay, but under the circumstances everyone understood it's no big deal. And the hope is by the time the Twins leave on the next road trip after Sunday's game that everybody will be home and safe and sound. 1-1 to Mauer. On the outside corner, 1-2.
It's that backdoor slider right there, and it's a nice pitch. Santana usually throws it down and into the lefties, but here we've seen a couple of pitches tonight right in what we call the backdoor slider. Trying to nip the outside part of the plate with it. He did it very, very successfully on that one. That was a really nice pitch.
1-2. Perez sets up in off the plate. The throw goes to first. We'll see if he comes back with that target after the throw to first.
Usually some kind of decoy they try with. They give the signal to throw over to first to the pitcher, and so now they go ahead and sit inside or outside, trying to see if the hitter will look back at him just to see where he's at.
Foul, and the count remains 1-2.
I'm not sure, but I think that was a little bit of the split finger pitch, trying to go down. Joe did a good job of fouling that off. Another tough pitch. This is what we talked about, the quality of that bat. Respect your at-bats, battle, foul off some pitches. You may end up striking out, you may end up getting hit, who knows, but again, give it a battle.
1-2. Wallop to right field. Might have hit that with some topspin. That didn't have much carry. Lowe was there to make the catch.
This is a fastball, and we saw the catcher and his actions and wanted the ball up. And I think Joe just got it in down on the label, just a touch.
One down, and Morneau will hit. Twins tickets remain available and affordable. A summer's worth of good times at Target Field. You can check out the Steal of the Week and demand-based pricing for great deals on single-game purchases all season long. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets. Calling 833-TWINS.
Backdoor slider again to start off Justin. Right on the outside corner. It's getting ahead in the count. He's got good control of that pitch tonight, Dick. It's causing us some problems, that's for sure. It's right on the outside, and he's getting ahead in the count with it. So the Royals are going with the shift again. This is right where they were playing Justin last time with the shortstop Escobar. Almost on the other side of second base, but just a touch on the left field side.
One strike to Morneau. And the dirt dug out by Perez. 1-1. Talking about the home runs for hunger program, and the Twins haven't hit as many home runs lately as they did for a while. 93 home runs, 102 games, on a pace for right around 135 home runs, I guess, something like that. 1-1 to Morneau. Off the end of the bat. The power, or at least some of it, should return to the lineup pretty soon. Josh Willingham was out taking batting practice today, going through some agility drills, and it is his hope he'll head out on a rehab assignment before this homestand is over with, and then 3-5 games later would be able to rejoin the big league club. Morneau takes in the dirt. 2-2.
There's that slider down, headed towards the dirt. It's a good spot to keep it down. Try to get the hitter to chase. We saw Justin not have the greatest swing his last at bat. Santana trying to get him to chase right there, but I suspect he might come back with that same fastball he got him with last time, out there on the outside corner in the 4 spot.
Speed pitch just off the corner. 3-2.
It's that backdoor slider he tried again, just a little bit outside. It's outside the Angel zone.
Referring to Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire. 3-2. Carroll leading at first. Morneau struck out, and Mauer was thrown out to end the first inning. Carroll goes, and it's a check swing, ball 4.
Wow.
So Morneau goes to first, Carroll to second, and the Twins will have an opportunity here with Doman at the plate. Tying run coming to the plate. Royals got their lead on a 3-run home run, and Doman capable of getting one of his own here. That was a close check swing too.
That was, and again, the runner was running on the pitch. Gardy having confidence. Justin's going to get bat on the ball. He's shown a lot of confidence in his players. He always has. And giving Justin a good opportunity there, trusting him, and having faith in him that he's going to get the bat to the ball. He didn't work out the first time up, but Justin threw that breaking ball to him, so it sort of surprised me a little bit. I was looking for the fastball down and away again. And surprised me there with that pitch.
Doman has not homered since the All-Star break. This would be a good spot for one. First and second, one away. And a bender over for a strike.
It's that backdoor thing again, and that's the same pitch he just tried to throw to Justin. He didn't locate it very good. Santana has not pitched very well this inning. He gave up the 2-strike hit to Jamie Carroll. Joe just missed it. One really good, just missed it. And then the walk to
through the hole to left. They're going to wave Carroll around. Gordon's throw to the plate, not in time, and the Twins are on the board. On an RBI single from Ryan Doman, it's 4-2. A shift beater.
Yeah, this is not a bad pitch from Santana. It's down and away. Similar to the one that Joe hit to left center field, and Ryan doesn't try to pull it. Just goes ahead and drives it over to the left side. As we said earlier, there's a lot of hits over there. Don't try to pull these pitches. You try to pull this pitch, and you're probably going to hit the double play.
And now Colabello will hit. Colabello.
Chris.
Bouncer to short his first time up. And he takes a strike over the inside corner.
Get a chance to see Ryan Doman and how he drives this ball to left field. The pitch is up in the strike zone. It's up a little bit too high for Santana's liking, but Ryan does a good job. He doesn't try to pull it. See, it's right on the outside part of the plate. And go ahead and just stroke it on over there to the left side. Beautiful swing. Very nice swing.
1-1. We've talked a lot about Colabello and how far away he stands from home plate. And the guy doing the catching for the Royals, Salvador Perez, kind of does the same thing. I think they stand in the same hole.
I think you're absolutely right. They both stand far away from the plate. And I actually think Chris has gotten just a touch closer. I think Roy Smalley pointed that out on the telecast over the weekend in Seattle. And I do believe he's a little bit closer. I didn't get a chance to ask him that question today when he spoke. And I wanted to, but I just couldn't get the right opportunity to get it out. But he does look like he's pretty far away here tonight, though. Good.
2-1 to Colabello. 94-mile-per-hour heater and a vicious swing and a miss.
That's right on the inside corner, running in on the right-hand hitter. I think we should be fortunate we didn't hit that ball because that had 643 written all over it. So, again, let's, that would aid him up. Let's put it that way.
That's the difference between you and me. I see a 94-mile-per-hour fastball and a big hack, and I think it's going to go in the upper deck. Flip foul.
Boy, that's a good defense right there. I mean, that pitch was down and away, and Chris did a nice job of getting the bat to it. That's what we talked about earlier. Trying to find a way to fight these pitches off and get yourself another one to hit. Worked out. Jamie Carroll was top of the inning where he got fouled a pitch off or two and able to get a pitch up in the zone and drive it to right to get on base and start this inning.
2-2 to Colabello. Roller to the right side. Out at short. And Colabello is safe at first with Escobar having to come down after his jump before he made the throw.
You give Ryan. Now this ball's not hit very hard, so it gave Ryan a chance to get down there and do some damage. And make no mistake about it, Tejada gave him the ball fairly quickly, but you could see that Escobar is so far already in front of the base right here he almost makes his own problem by getting in the way. So we like to teach our players to stay behind the bag. Keep your shortstop behind the bag where, you know, you can read the throw and let the bag protect you a little bit. And I think Escobar got his momentum going so quickly.
Drilled to center and almost over the head of Dyson. Will spanked it hard for the third out. The Twins get one back, but lead two.
With $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets from the Minnesota Lottery for Lauren from Eden Prairie, who is here with her brother. Lauren is the first member of her family to ever go to Yale. Yes, you are heading to Yale for grad school, you told me, in 2 weeks to study genetics. How's a Twins fan going to survive on the East Coast?
It'll definitely be difficult with all the Boston, New York fans. I know they're pretty tough, but I'll definitely wear my Joe Mauer jersey on game days and be sure to represent Minnesota well.
She's representing tonight with the Joe Mauer jersey too, Dick and TK. 2 weeks, Yale, grad school, genetics. She's going to put us all to shame.
That's for sure. And I'm proud that she's going to wear her Twins jersey. That's going to be good. Good deal.
Ryan Presley in the game. And he gets on one pitch what it seemed like it took Mike Pelfrey all night to get. A quick out. Pelfrey taken out after 4 innings. He gave up 8 hits and 2 walks among the 22 batters he faced.
10 men on base in 4 innings. Mike just wasn't sharp tonight. Just too many pitches. And just wasn't pitched his game as he pitched so well too the last, I guess 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks. It's been just improving. Took a little step back tonight, but he's a veteran. He'll bounce back.
You know, from a manager's standpoint, Pelfrey's been very good, and he had a disappointing outing and never was able to get into any kind of a flow here tonight. When you've got if it's a 5-0 game, you manage it any differently. Now here they are, the Twins got a run. It's a 4-2 ball game, and you kind of, I would imagine, get to the point where you just feel like you got to change something up.
You have to, Dick, and you're absolutely right. Things aren't going this way, obviously, and Gardy recognized it, Andy recognized it, everybody recognized the things where Mike was having a little bit of a rough go here tonight. And so you don't want your team to go flat and say, we scored 4-2. All right, let's change it up now and get the boys a little, see if we can get a jump start here by Presley, and maybe he can get a 1-2-3 inning, get the boys right back off the field, get them in the dugout with a chance to get the momentum going again.
Poked foul, and it's 2-2. I guess if 3-4 innings probably enough then to determine whether whether it's his night or not. Sure. It was apparent it wasn't Mike Pelfrey's night.
It wasn't going to be, and you're absolutely correct in your observation. It was just not going well. There wasn't any easy innings. Basically, he jammed up some people early in the game, got the ball in on guys pretty good and got some outs that way. And a little unlucky. A couple blue pits, jam shots. Tejada hit one. There was another one along the way that was a jam shot. Ground ball snuck through the infield. The ball that Gordon hit wasn't, and Tejada hit one up the middle that wasn't really struck really hard, but it was in the right spot. So being a little unlucky that way, but still way too many pitches. And Mike would be the first one to tell you he's a stand-up guy, and he's going to be the first one to tell you he wasn't sharp tonight.
2-2 to Tejada. A swing and a miss, and Presley has a strikeout, 2 down.
This is that breaking ball. It's down and away, and got yelled to chase here. This is a nice pitch.
If you missed out on the Twins' first DQ cap night, you got another opportunity coming up on Saturday. Come out to Target Field for the 6 o'clock game against Houston to get yours. The first 20,000 fans will get the cap. Visit twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Get your tickets for the game and any other this summer here at Target Field. Well, that's only because I enjoy pheasant hunting. That looked like that would be a legal hunting cap.
It's not my area.
No. Mike Moustakas clobbered a 3-run home run to right center field with 2 out in the 3rd. Royals got all 4 runs that inning. Presley gets ahead of him 1 strike and now 2 strikes.
Pitch down in the zone is running down and away. Nice pitch by Prez. A nice job so far. See, we get the boys off the field in a timely manner, get them in the dugout, give them a chance to hit again.
2 strikes. And Moustakas flips a foul.
I'm talking about being a tough at bat. Don't be an easy out.
Belfry fell behind him and really paid the price.
I don't think we need to see that pitch. Nobody wants to see it again except from Moustakas, or if you're a Royal fan.
How about if we just not throw him another one like that?
Well, that'd be the right thing.
0-2 for the Royals third baseman. Check to swing 1-2.
A bit of the breaking ball. It's down in the zone. Always throw it down towards the dirt. Nice pitch. Maybe get the chase. Saw Tejada chase.
1-2 to Moustakas. Breaking ball left up high. Evening the count.
Looks like he tried to overdo that one. We call that overcooking. Try to overcook it a little bit. Try to make it too fine. Throw it too hard. And thus you leave it up in the zone. Just spinning. And that's what that was, a spinner. Looks like another breaking ball. Much better.
Had a chance to talk to Moustakas before the game today, and found out he and Trevor Plouffe played Little League Baseball against each other. Known each other since they were kids, and Moustakas was drafted as a shortstop, and 1 year into his professional career he made the switch over to third base, and of course that's the move that Trevor has eventually made over to third base from being drafted as a shortstop. Tap foul.
It's probably the best player on the team ends up playing shortstop, so this is probably, I'm sure what happened to a lot of guys along the way, that they all play shortstop and end up getting moved. Trevor went to second some, went to first base some, went to the outfield some.
Eventually.
Now Gardy's got him settled in here at third, and this looks like the right spot. But he can do these other things too if he needs.
2-2 to Moustakas. Check, swing 3-2.
It's that breaking ball. It looks like the slider pitch. It's a little bit down. But if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss.
Moustakas said for him the transition was pretty easy because he was able to just react to the ball. He didn't have a lot of lateral range. And I think maybe the same would be true of Trevor.
I think a lot of guys that way.
Right. Swing and a miss. Good inning for Presley. The pitching change is made. So far, so good. Presley faces just 3 men in the 5th.
Hicks hopes to have one of his outfield partners back soon. Left fielder Josh Willingham is in our Sanford Health injury report. Willingham was in the cage taking batting practice today for the first time since he had arthroscopic surgery on his knee on July 3rd. Willingham still has to run the bases, slide, play the entire game, but just swinging in the cage was a step in the right direction. He said his swing felt a little rusty and that he'll hit live BP for 5 days straight. He said need a lot of reps to get the baseball stuff going again. And then Tom and Dick, he said, I'll be striking out in no time. That's a quote. It is important to keep your sense of humor through the rehab process.
Well, thank you, Marty. I asked Josh about the brace, and he says it's heavy, but it doesn't impede his running at all, which is good. Well, a lot of players, of course, don't like to wear that brace, but he says it's not going to bother him. He expects to be playing with it when he returns to the Twins.
Yeah, we'll see how the lateral movement goes with the brace on and stuff. I think for running straight forward and things, it's fine. But when you start having to make little zigzags and run your routes in the outfield, I think it might be a little cumbersome then. But again, if he can just get it going, get the strength in it, and we'll go from there.
Hard one hopper to Hosmer. He goes to the bag. Hicks retired, 1 away. Ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you like, shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. America's new sports network is Fox Sports 1, coming August 17th. Pedro Florimon will bat. It's a 4-2 ball game. Twins had a 1-0 lead. Then it was 4-1 Kansas City. Twins trying to climb out of a hole here in the middle innings.
I think it's safe to say that Santana's made a few mistakes the last couple innings. Aaron just smashes this ball behind in the count, and pitcher should be in charge. But this was a real bad pitch to Hicks, and he just smashed it. Got a little unlucky. Give Hosmer a little credit for picking that ball. That was a bullet.
Florimon, the batter. Bunted in the air, foul. 2 strikes.
I don't begrudge anybody wanting to bunt for a hit or anything like that. I mean, that bunt attempt there, it's fine. It's either going to be foul or you may make a good bunt. But, it's either one or the other, be foul or good. So it's you get another chance if it's. You don't want to ever make a bad bunt. But we've been hitting the ball pretty good the last few hitters, and so I was hoping that maybe swing the bat some because he seemed a little vulnerable. Unfortunately, Florimon got behind in the count and ended up chasing the breaking ball down.
2 outs quickly here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Clete Thomas, who singled and scored in the 3rd. When asked today about hitting Thomas in the leadoff spot, Tommy went through stages like this too.
Yeah.
Gardy said, Ron Gardner said, I don't really have anybody else. Brian Dozier did okay there, but we really don't have a whole lot of options right now.
I think everybody's fine with Clete hitting first. He gives a competitive at-bat. And it's as we've all mentioned many times since Clete's come back, he shortened his swing, and he's much better hitter, looks much more composed at the plate, and he has a better chance of getting the ball in play. So he's fine. He's been around the block. He's played enough games, major league, minor league, so he knows what's going on. So again, as good a choice as any right here.
1-2 to Thomas with 2 gone in the 5th. And wide of the plate, 2-2. Of course, last year the Twins had a couple of leadoff batters, but Bernard Span has been moved down to 7th with the Washington Nationals, and Ben Revere was down to, I think, 8th for a while for Charlie Manuel before he picked it up before he got hurt. Jack swing, he went.
This is that split finger down in the zone, and got us to chase twice that one.
A 1-2-3 5th with a couple of strikeouts. Santana and the Royals leading 4-2. Working our way now to the 6th inning. And Ryan Presley delivers ball 1 to Alcides Escobar. Escobar 0 for 2. And the average down to 239. Swing and a miss over the weekend. We were talking about the Twins' middle infield defense. And Dozier and Florimon, a nice job they've done. And who would Ron Gardenhire think played better in the field than his middle infield combo right now. Little looper. Morneau with a nice catch, one away. And among shortstops, Alcides Escobar was at the top of his list. Maybe the best fielding shortstop. And the Twins have really stabilized things in the middle of their infield.
First play there was Benier making that play at shortstop. Colabello, Florimon. We go right through the defensive lineup out there. Everybody's chipping in some and getting the job done. Look at this double play here. Duno, outstanding job pitching, getting the ball in play.
And Presley fires to Morneau. Dyson retired, 2 quick outs.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
I think we just saw the type of bunt you were
That's
before.
That's one of my pet peeves is just drop that Toki right out in front. You know, it's sort of a wasted at bat. You get the ball perfect or foul.
Right.
So the ball goes perfect down the third base line or goes foul. Now you get another strike. So now you have another pitch, but not that. That's a wasted at bat and just an easy out, and we'll take it.
2 quick outs. In fact, 5 up, 5 down now for Ryan Presley. 1-0 to Alex Gordon. The left and hit well. Retreating is Thomas. On the warning track, makes the catch. Ryan Presley has gotten 6 outs on 21 pitches. Catch a filet of fish extra value meal today. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Toyota, let's go places. To find the nearest Toyota dealer and check out our current offers, visit buyatoyota.com. 4-2, Royals in front. Twins will send up Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, and Justin Morneau in the bottom of the 6th inning. Vikings training camp is underway. FoxSportsNorth.com has you covered. Brian Hall provides all the latest news and notes from Mankato. Carroll singled and scored in the 4th. And a strike on the outside corner.
Jamie to start the rally again. He started it last time. He got a pitch up in the zone, battled with 2 strikes. I believe the count was 1 and 2, and just stroked it right over the right field. got it going.
And now a breaking pitch over the inside corner.
Back. I'm going to say that's one of those cutters or sliders that they start at your hip and have it bend over the plate, and that's exactly what that did.
And Carroll got a piece of another one.
Another little slider. This one stayed in the center of the plate. I'm sure Santana did not want to throw this one here, and I believe that one did nick the catcher. I think in a real close to the area code that we don't like to be hitting.
Okay. And he can afford a smile and a chuckle about it.
Because he knows it's not the first time and won't be the last.
2 strikes.
It's not funny.
To Carroll. Just off the plate low, maybe.
Good take by Jamie. That pitch got down, but it was a real good try by Santana. That's where he wanted to throw the last one.
And that one hit the corner. Carroll heads to the dugout. 3rd straight strikeout for Santana. Joe Mauer, the proud papa of the twin girls. Ron Gardenhire asked about any fatherly advice.
Everybody's going to be different on how you raise your kids, and you just show them a lot of love, and I think it all works out pretty good. Wow, that was deep.
I didn't know where he was going there, and that was pretty good. That was excellent. And he's right. Absolutely.
Mauer's twin girls will remain in the hospital around a week yet, and then they'll return home. Trust that everything will be fine and life will change quite a bit for Joe and Maddie.
Yep.
With 2 healthy baby girls. Off the plate 2-0. Mauer with a sharp single to left center, driving in a run in the first. And then he had a liner to right center field, caught by a low. Strike 2-1.
He used to tease the young fathers in the neighborhood that they have their first child. And then I said, well, you'll still be able to play golf once in a while and do this and do that, and go to the ball game and whatnot. And then they have the second child, and I said, you might as well just give me them golf clubs. You're all done.
Line to foul set on the left field line, 2-2.
No more golf. Party's over.
Mauer trying to set things up for Morneau, Doman, Colabello.
I think Joe's right where he wants to be, Dick.
2 strikes.
There you go.
Three and 2.
It's a backdoor breaking ball that Santana's thrown a lot tonight, especially to the lefties, trying to get that outside part of the plate. He knows it's been a little generous back there in the strike zone, so Santana and Perez try to throw that pitch quite often.
Got him. Cutter inside, 2 down. 4 straight strikeouts for Irvin Santana.
Look at my scorecard. You're absolutely correct. Gosh. This is a ball here, but Joe Chase, I think he thought that Santana would come back with that fastball. Joe got beat on the fastball just a touch last time. With the 4-2 lead, 3-2 count, I'd have been looking fastball, and I think we got fooled the touch.
Morneau takes one off the plate, ball 1. Morneau has struck out and walked. Justin hasn't had the month of July that he would like, to be sure. 4 home runs in the month. Now that part's fine, but all 4 have come with the bases empty.
That's true.
On the outside corner, 1 and 2.
I don't know. It's that backdoor thing. I don't think it got there, but Angel said it did, so he's the boss.
Very high, 2 and 2.
That by design by Perez. He wanted that pitch up. See if you get Justin Chase. Justin has chased that fastball up in the zone. We've seen that over the years. And this looks like, oh, there we go with the fastball.
Chopped foul. 2 and 2.
If you watch the signs by Perez there, wanted that slider, the one he threw to Joe Mauer, down and in, and Santana shook him off. I was a little surprised about that. Let's see what we got here. Fastball away. No, this is the backdoor cutter.
Chop to the right side. Hosmer has it. He'll beat Morneau to the bag. Another 1-2-3 inning. Through 6, Irvin Santana in control. He and the Royals ahead of the Twins 4-2. Presley's done a nice job in relief. 6 up, 6 down, and he'll face Eric Hosmer, Billy Butler, and Salvador Perez. Presley's picked up a couple of strikeouts, and he pitches up and away, ball 1. Singles those last 2 times up.
Oh, I think we just maybe slipped a little bit in the hole where he steps with his left leg and foot goes down. I think he might have stumbled a touch here. Watch the ankle. Whoa, the right ankle. When he followed through, he got it stuck in there.
2-1.
I get nervous when I see those things.
Deep to the left field corner and foul. Carried over the railing.
Wow, ball went a long way.
A left-handed batter. That's a long poke.
And I thought tonight, Dick, I didn't think the ball was carrying too well tonight, but boy, Hosmer, sure, he drove that one pretty good.
Half swing. Dirt, 3-2.
I like the way Presley's going about it tonight. He's getting the breaking ball down in the zone. He's gotten a few swings on that pitch tonight, but I think he's going to have to come with number 1 here.
Full count to Hosmer. And another foul. You know, the Royals pinned a lot of their hopes on Hosmer getting better this year, and by season's end his numbers will be better. They were certainly counting on Butler, who's more of a known commodity, but then they wanted Perez to get a little bit better and stay healthy. 3-2 to Hosmer, and another foul ball. But the guy who's kind of left them a little disappointed is the guy who's got the biggest swing of the night here, Moustakas, in his 3-run home run. And so you look at his numbers, and I kept looking back at Gary Gaetti's numbers. Now, you were just a coach the 1 year where Gary became one of the best power hitters in the game and maybe the best third baseman in the game all around. This one hit high and deep to left. Thomas back to the warning track. makes the catch. But Gaetti had a year in his development stage where he hit 4 or 5
home runs, I think it was.
Yeah.
5.
All right, you were there. Why did that happen?
Well, I think he got away some of driving the ball to right field and right center field, and in the Metrodome, you certainly, he was strong enough to drive the ball that way, and as he's proven over the years that he could pop it over to right central as good as anybody. And I think once he got back, I remember a couple days that we had batting practice on the field.
Presley knocks it down. Plenty of time to retire Butler. 2 down.
Don't panic. And I remember we moved his aim over. I mean by that, we wanted him to aim up the middle and hit the ball, drive the ball through the middle, and then when you got in the game, just go ahead and react now to wherever the pitch is and go from there. But I remember moving the aim over, and I remember putting screens out there behind where the second baseman would play and out in right center field. And I said, now that's our aim. That's where we're going to aim. And I'm not saying that's what made him. I'm not saying that by no stretch of the imagination, but got him thinking a little bit more about driving the ball to the opposite field. And we all know you can turn on it. He's so strong, and turn on and power it. We know that. But he had to give himself a chance to drive a few balls the opposite way.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I tell people that maybe the most important 2 at-bats in the postseason run in 1987 were Gaetti's first 2 at-bats when he hit 2 home runs to straightaway center field. Yeah. He didn't pull either one of them.
Boy, he smashed them too. It was really fun to watch.
Don't you think
we weren't begging?
Against Doyle Alexander.
Yeah.
9 up, 9 down for Ryan Presley. We'll see if the Twins can continue a comeback against the Royals.
Joe Mauer with the bullet here to left field. Scores Clete Thomas, where the Twins take the lead right here. And unfortunately, the Royals answered right back. Couple balls snuck through the infield on us. A little unlucky for Mike, but then he served just fell behind in the count. Too many times tonight. He got behind 2-0 on Moustakas, and he smashed one for a 3-run homer. Ryan Dumick goes the opposite way to drive in Jamie Carroll, and that's our score, 4-2. Royals.
Doma will lead off the 7th. He takes up and away, ball 1. Doma, Colabello, and Plouffe against Santana in the 7th. And he misses again, 2-0. Santana now over 100 pitches.
Yeah, it's getting probably near the end here, and I think the Royals have a left-hander up and going in the bullpen because I'm not quite sure why, but they have a lefty going.
They have just one lefty. It's Tim Collins, and he is warming up in the bullpen.
And he's done such a great job for the Royals. His ERA is up a little bit this year, but The last couple of years, 2 years, he's been just a fantastic find for the Royals. Been a great job.
Away from Doma, to swing and a miss, 2-2. Royals had an off day in Minnesota yesterday, so everybody in the bullpen should be reasonably well rested. Another check swing and a strikeout for Doman.
I think it's a split finger or slider, Dick, that's down in the zone. Got Ryan to chase. There it comes. Down, that's a slider. See the grip on the ball.
So one down, and Colabello will hit. It just seems like, and you go pitch or inning by inning to the Royals through their pitching charts and find out, but it just seems like early on it was establish the fastball, and then you know, how many fastballs has he thrown for strikes in the last 3-4 innings?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dick. You're great point. Got the fastball going, and Pelfrey did the same thing. You know, he threw a lot of fastballs the first inning. I think, what was it, 16 out of 18?
Yeah.
And did a nice job. Had a running in on the guys and jamming them up some, and did a great job that way. But we just couldn't sustain it the next couple innings. So, but you're right that Santana did a great job establishing his fastball as well, and has a little bit better results.
Escobar fires across. Colabello retired, 2 down.
That's a big league play right there by Escobar. That's what Roy Smalley was talking about in defense, about making a play, and this is a big league play right there.
2 down. Bluth will hit. There's the Subway in-game box score. And Thomas and Carroll and Mauer and Doman have the 4 hits, and all 4 hits have contributed to the 2 runs the Twins have. So they've wasted many opportunities. Strike on the outside corner to Plouffe. Just to get 1 here in the 7th would change things. The Royals have a very good bullpen.
Yeah, we're just a bloop and a blast away, so keep the faith. Get somebody on base. Have that opportunity to tie the game with 1 swing.
Check swing and a called strike 0-2.
There's that little cutter again. It's cutting the ball on the backdoor thing again. I think the catcher wanted away and stayed inside.
Foul back. You know, you watch a game like this, and the Twins saw some well-pitched games against them on the road. Jared Weaver, Felix Hernandez. But you see a game like that, the guys make it look easy. And when you can command your fastball, the rest of it seems to come so easily for them.
Ball's in place, absolutely right. And the big key, as you just said, Dick, you command the fastball, so that usually gets you ahead in the count, and then you go from there, and the hitter's on the defensive, and things get very smooth for you as you go. So, you know, and you find out that's how you pitch. Learn how to pitch.
1-2 to Trevor Plouffe. 2-2.
Real nice pitch by Santana there. Try to get to the outside corner. Remember, I believe he struck Trevor. No, he didn't strike Trevor out, but he struck a few guys out in the fastball right on the outside part of the plate.
Chopper in front of Moustakas. Barehanding. What a fine play. And a nice catch by Hosmer at first. He picked it right out of Plouffe's armpits.
It's funny how you make a good play or hit a home run and 3-run homer, you end up making another good play.
man here in the top of the 8th inning for Kansas City.
You watch enough baseball games, Dick, you know as well as I do. And somebody's having a good game with the bat, the glove usually follows right behind, or vice versa. End up having a good night, both on the offensive side and the defensive side.
3 really good innings for Ryan Presley. The Royals didn't get a base runner against him, and now Brian Dunsing will come in to face David Lowe, Miguel Tejada, and Mike Moustakas.
That was 3 of the best innings you're going to see by anybody at any time. That was outstanding job by Ryan. And come in and put a stop to the run scoring by the Royals and held them down right where what you need to do as a relief pitcher. Stop it right now and give your team a chance to get back in the game.
Lowe 0 for 3. Squaring the bunt, bunting it a mile in the air, and Bauer goes into a slide in front of the railing.
This is what I talked about earlier about bunting. You want to bunt, fine, okay, but bunt the ball perfect or foul. Well, that was foul, but by no means close to anything perfect. The idea when the lefty bunts is bunting against the left-hand pitcher, so the left-hand pitcher is falling off to the third base side, and your job is to get the ball past the pitcher towards the second baseman. And if you do that, get it by the pitcher, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to get a hit.
1 strike. We've seen some really poor bunts in this game already.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. But at least some of the guys are trying it. I think a couple of them have probably been ill-advised. I didn't like Florimon bunting when he did, or trying to bunt when he did. I thought we were starting to hit the ball some. I'd rather see you swing the bat there. But
Low fans on 3 pitches. 1 down.
Sweeping breaking ball here by the Deuce, and this is sweeping across and virtually no chance. Off the ball, pulled off the ball's down and away. The only chance he had was to try to hit the ball to left field. So far gone, he's got no chance.
The veteran Tejada with 2 singles and a very important single in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, 2 on. The Royals had that situation in every inning prior to the 3rd inning, but he chopped a base hit up the middle to tie the game. And then a couple pitches later, Moustakas hit his bomb. This one popped up behind first. Carroll will call off Morneau, make the catch out number 2. And before Moustakas comes to the plate, the 2014 All-Star Game logo has been unveiled. It's time to show your support and excitement. Show your enthusiasm for next year's Midsummer Classic by getting your officially licensed merchandise now. For the next week, All-Star Game apparel is only available in the merchandise stores at Target Field, Twins Pro Shops in Roseville, Apple Valley, and Minnetonka. Be the first in your neighborhood or at the office to sport the 2014 All-Star Game logo. Still got stuff from the '85 All-Star Game.
Me too. Yes, sir. That was a fun time.
It was obviously a long time ago, but I have such vivid memories of that. First time I'd gone to one in Minnesota. I went to the one in Montreal when Ken Herbeck played in his only All-Star game. So I had that experience before, but there's nothing like seeing the best baseball players in the world.
I was a young coach at the time and coaching third base for the Twins, and I got Sparky Anderson as the manager that year for the American League, and asked if I'd stay and help throw batting practice and things like that, and hit some ground balls during practice time. So that was quite an honor. So I made the most of that and got to throw to Bruno at the end, a home run derby, and that worked out.
This one blasted to right. Moustakas has got another one.
He sure did.
He hooks this one just over the wall and just inside the pole.
I think this pitch gets a little bit too much of the plate, and he hit this one-handed, Dick. He got way out on his front foot here, and I think contrary to the pitch we saw to Lau, this one didn't quite get to that outside part. This guy's a strong young man, and I think he one-hands this ball right out of the ballpark. You see this one stayed in. See Joe reach back to the center of the plate. Boom. Boy, it's a nice swing. Very nice swing. But it all had to do with the location. You see Joe reaching back across. Dunsing just didn't get that one down in the way as he did on two previous hitters.
In Kansas City, they would be saying the Moose is on the loose.
Boy, I get.
Great fielding play, 2 home runs, 1 strike to Escobar. And now a ball.
Boy, we retired a bunch of guys in a row. I think 11, 12 guys in a row. Get burned by a homer. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Now a bunt.
We're not a fan of this play either.
Escobar tries to bunt his way aboard with 2 out. He's retired. The Royals had a run on the top of the 8th.
With us after the final out as we bring you more coverage of this game and Twins Live presented by CenturyLink. We'll look at a possible 7th straight win for the Kansas City Royals. The Twins will try to prevent that, but the Royals have been streaking here. Also take a look at Joe Mauer's impact after missing a week with paternity leave. He hit an RBI single in the first inning on the first pitch that he saw. And we'll have Ron Gardenhire's reaction from inside the clubhouse. It's all coming up after this game. Dick and Tom?
Thank you, Marnie. Twins now have a 3-run deficit to try to cover up in the last 2 innings. Aaron Hicks will lead things off against Tim Collins. And Hicks takes down and in ball 1. CenturyLink linked to what's next. The lone lefty in the Royal bullpen, Tim Collins.
Manager Yost tried to get his people in the right position. Santana has allowed that to happen and given his bullpen the right mix.
Right center, but the speedy Dyson glides over to make the catch. Hicks has hit the ball hard a couple of times here.
Twice he blasted the ball pretty good, Dick. You're absolutely correct. But if you notice the defense, I give a little credit to my man Chino Cadilla, bench coach for the for the Royals. Yeah, Chino played for me a couple years in the minor leagues, and we used to have a saying: Chino wasn't the fastest runner you'd ever want to see, and Randy Bush always had a comment for him. Chino hit the ball and he'd get thrown out by 7, 8, 10, 12 feet. That's generous. And Bushy would holler at him, just nipped you, Chino.
Now, was this in Orlando?
Orlando, yes, sir.
Really? So he was in that group with Bush and Gaetti and Viola. I didn't know that.
Catcher. And
he would have been
very good catcher.
Tim Laudner's backup, or
he got to play some, and we play everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And he played quite a bit. And
Florimon flares it foul, 1-1. Twins haven't had a base hit since Gomez's RBI single in the 4th.
I'd like to give a little credit there to Chino because Dyson, as he is playing right now in center field, over to the right side, over towards right center, and and that's where he was playing for Hicks, and lo and behold, that's where he hit the ball. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or anything, but they certainly had him played correctly. Gino was a good baseball man. A lot of years with the Atlanta Braves, coach there. It was real solid. It's real solid.
That's to the right field corner and deep, but it's going to twist foul. There's a definite Atlanta flavor to this Kansas City team with Ned Yost. General manager Dayton Moore came out of the Atlanta system. Jeff Francoeur was a right fielder for the Royals for a lot of years.
You see the right fielder is really playing over towards the line, as well as the center field, as we mentioned earlier. But obviously playing Florimon in the outfield to the opposite way.
2-2. Nubs it back to the mound. 2 down. Twins starting a very important stretch and a very busy stretch. 27 games in 27 days. Now, there is an off day in Chicago, but the next day on August 9th, the Twins play a doubleheader because of a weather out.
A lot of baseball.
And then the Mets have to come back here on August 19th to make up a game that was weathered out. So that off day has been taken care of. Another off day here on September 9th has been filled by the Angels. A little fly to short left, and Gordon comes in, makes a sliding catch. Thomas retired. Collins has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Royals in front 5-2. Mike Moustakas almost single-handedly beating the Twins so far. And the Royals will hit in the 9th inning. Brian Dunsing will face Gerard Dyson. First pitch spanked into center field, a base hit. Another left-hander getting a hit against Brian Dunsing. Our AT&T Twitter results tonight. Tonight we asked you which all-star activity are you most excited about for next summer, and the home run derby outdistancing the game itself.
Wow. I know my godson in New Jersey went to Shea, and I keep calling it Shea City Field in New York and he wanted to go to the home run derby.
Yeah. It's going to be different here because of course they measure the home runs. Gordon the batter, and he snaps his bat.
Wow.
And Dunsing will have some fun with that over the off season. Gordon and Dunsing were in each other's weddings, former Nebraska Cornhuskers. And that's one that Gordon will have to relive a time or two.
And he knows it.
Yeah.
But But again, Dick, I tried to make a point about both managers were able to put their left-handers in a good spot. Dunsing faced a number of left-hand hitters. Gardy got him in the right spot. And that's all you can do as the manager. You put them out there in a situation where they can be successful, and when they get the job done, they get it done. But they get the opportunity, and Collins, Ned Yost put him out there in a good spot, and he certainly got the job done. He made our left-hand hitters switch around. Of course, they're switch hitters, but we all know Fleury's not. He hits much better left-handed. He does right, and Hicksy's probably a little better right than left. It's close, though. It's I don't know which one he hits best, but and I've watched him play a lot, and I still don't know which way he hits best. But again, both managers put their people in the right position to be successful, and that's all you can do as a manager. And unfortunately here, like you mentioned, Dick, a couple of lefties got some hits.
And that's been the puzzle regarding Dunsing, who is just lights out against left-handers and had problems with right-handers, but he's done better against right-handers, but that's been negated by Dunsing giving up a near 300 batting average to lefties.
That's puzzling at times, but he's in a good spot to pitch in. There's no question about it.
Gordon drives a base hit to left field. So Moustakas, a lefty, hits a home run. Dyson with a base hit, and Gordon with a base hit. I guess that'll be the last laugh for Gordon in regards to the shattered bat.
But he's still going to hear about it. But again, I think we leave this pitch up in the zone a little bit, and Gordon was able to get a good swing at it. It's just stayed up in the zone. Get the ball down.
Another lefty, Hosmer.
And Mr. Renicky is warming up, and I'm sure he's going to face Mr. Butler. He's in the on-deck circle. Ooh.
Fair down the line. Dunsing can't believe it.
I thought it was foul.
Dyson will score on a double by Hosmer. And the ninth inning begins with 3 left-handed hits against Brian Dunsing. Second and third, nobody out.
Let's see where this ball hits. Umpire is standing 4 feet from it, so I'm sure he's right.
The pitch is about a foot up and a foot in.
Inside, too, and he did a great job. And that is fair. It's like the umpire said.
Brian Dunsing has a frustrating outing, giving up 4 hits to left-handed batters. He did retire David Lowe on a strikeout and a pitching change in the ninth.
Moustakas
And then he does it again against Dunsing. A left-hand pitcher just leaves the ball over the center of the plate. And this fellow's having a good night. Made a couple plays down there at third base that were impressive as well. So Moustakas has had a good night tonight. And I'm not saying single-handedly he's done the job, but he's certainly had a big impact in this ballgame.
Josh Renicky in to face Billy Butler, who is 0 for 4. And if the game isn't busted wide open already, Butler has a chance to do it here. Second and third, nobody out.
Yeah, infield's got to play in here too, Dick. And I would think the Royals would play it safe here and not take a chance, but they're going with the contact play. But again, Gardy's got to try to stop the bleeding here and got to play in. That's all there is to it. Can't afford to give up any more runs. Certainly had an option here, but to walk Butler, fill the bases for Perez, but our pitchers have done a good job against Billy Butler tonight. So Gardy's elected to pitch to him instead of Perez, and I don't blame him. I've done the same thing.
Off the top, we showed you an 18-game hitting streak against the Twins, with so far 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts.
Yeah. He hasn't had a good swing yet. Not in my mind, anyway. So.
Breaking ball fouled to the screen.
Nice pitch down and away by Josh.
Gordon's at third. Hosmer at second. Dyson has already scored. The bat fouled back.
Another good pitch. This one is coming in hard. I think all managers and pitching coaches, they like to see that fastball, and pitchers be able to control that fastball on the inside part of the plate, jam up the hitters. It really sets up a lot of stuff that's away, and Bert's talked about it numerous times. Being able to get the fastball in the inner part, and then it opens up the outside for you.
Another breaking pitch, lifted foul into the seats.
A little bit better job by Butler there, trying to take the ball the other way.
Royals trying to keep pace with the Tigers, who won today, but Miguel Cabrera tweaked his hip injury over the course of the game. Luke Hochevar, Kelvin Herrera warming up in the Kansas City bullpen.
Cleveland continues to play solid baseball.
Yeah, they came back and beat the White Sox. High pop-up, short center field. Hicks comes in and makes the catch. No chance for anybody to
good job. Excellent job by Aaron. He knows he's got to catch this ball. He's coming in towards home plate. The infielders were playing in, so they have much more room, area to travel. So Aaron knows this, and he did a great job by coming and getting this ball. This is a good play by our center fielder. Normally one of our infielders would catch this ball, but that was good recognition of what's going on in front of him. Good job.
Perez will be intentionally walked to fill the bases.
Nice job, nice pitching by Renicky to get Billy Butler there. He did really a super job. Second and third, infield in, got him to pop the ball up. One of them funny box scores, Dick. If you look down and you see Billy Butler 0 for 5, you would think the Royals are probably losing. But in this case, they've had other people in the lineup be able to pick up the slack, and that's what the mark of a team that's coming around, getting the job done. Your best hitter in the lineup is not getting the job done for you or having a little bit of a rough night, and there's other people around you that can pick you up and score, still manage to score some runs. So give the Royals a little credit here. They're doing a good job. We didn't mention enough about Santana. He did a wonderful job, 7 innings of pitching great baseball.
Twins scored on him in a couple innings, but just single runs, and the Royals took charge of this game with a 4-run inning.
He was able to keep away from the crooked number. We all know the crooked number can really hurt you, as it did tonight for the Twins. And might not overcome the crooked numbers. Sometimes they're hard to overcome when the other team puts up that, we call it a crooked number, 3 or 4, those kind of things. And they're hard numbers to overcome during the course of the game. Santana was able to hold us to the 1 run and not put up the crooked numbers. So thus he got out of the game with, I believe it was 5-2 when he left. So he did a fantastic job, only giving up 4 hits. I think he had 8 strikeouts, if I'm not mistaken. A wonderful job.
To left, Thomas with the catch. He'll come up with a throw, and it comes through, and Mauer can't quite hang on to the ball.
I think he was going to call him out.
Yep,
he was going to call him out, but I really thought he was safe to start with, and but he was going to call him out. Well, you get to see the replay here. Now I'm probably wrong again, which is, you don't make ho-hum type thing. But again, I thought he got his foot underneath. But this is an excellent throw from our left fielder, Clete Thomas. He's charging the ball. He's catching it on the proper side. And I don't think Joe ever really got the glove to it. But see where his foot is. It's underneath. Might have kicked it out some, but again, that was real close play at home. And unfortunately, we just couldn't get it done. But Clete did a wonderful job in left field for the younger players still watching the game and watching how people play.
Hosmer advanced to third. The pitch called a strike.
The outfielders need to get behind the ball, get behind it so you get your momentum coming forward, so you can give the throw up and not have to reset your feet and all that stuff. So did a great job of staying behind the ball and charging it and getting rid of it in 2 steps. So it was a good job by Clete Thomas.
Dug out by Mauer.
He's made a couple of really good throws, as all our outfielders have. You know, they've done a good job out there. Scotty Olger, his diligent work with the outfielders, but there's been a lot of good throws and assists by our outfielders this season. I'm sorry, Dick, I interrupted you.
I have a question, and I'll wait until after this pitch if I can, because I'm swinging a minute. How did you instruct catchers on a play like that? And Mauer not alone. Almost everybody keeps the mask on now, but it used to be catchers were instructed to take the mask off so they could follow the bouncing ball rather than looking through the bars of the mask.
Well, we like to. I put it in. I want to leave the mask on because I didn't like what happened to our catcher in Detroit, left-hand switch hitter. Oh shoot.
When you manage?
Yes, sir.
Wallback?
No, switch hitter. Yes, you're right about switch hitter, but
Matt Morello. No. I'm trying to think of other switch hitting catchers.
You'll get it in a second, but remember he got cut, and he's got his chin cut, and he got 18 stitches or whatever, and I said no more. Leave the mask on.
We'll come out of the break with the name, I hope. Largely to Mike Moustakas. Jamie Carroll will lead off the ninth against the
new Kansas City relief pitcher. But first, we've got a little old business to discuss. Had to go to the media guy. Javier Valentin is a catcher.
Switch hitting catcher. Yeah, and he got drilled at home plate in a collision at home. And he had the mask off. And he ended up getting, I don't know how many, 5, 6 stitches right in the runway in Detroit in the old ballpark. They stitched him up. He continued to play, to his credit.
Well, at least the conditions were sanitary there.
Yeah, I'm sure that was, at the time that wasn't an issue. So, but that's true. And but since that day, we started implementing. You leave the mask on. Now they catch 120-some pitches a night per se, and they're looking through that mask. There's no reason they can't catch this ball from the outfield.
And in all honesty, the bars on the mask are so much smaller than they used to be when Earl Batty was catching or whatever. Jimmy Carroll to lead off the ninth.
And I think if you ask the catchers, they would probably answer they don't even realize they're there.
Right.
You know, and they've seen so many balls come to them, and they've caught so many pitches, it becomes irrelevant. And then we got a good look at the mask there, contrary to what we saw 20 years ago.
The big iron bars. Yeah. Terry Steinbach talks about when he was learning how to catch. He, of course, was drafted as a third baseman. And when he was in instructional league and in the minor leagues learning how to catch, they taught catchers back then to take the mask off.
Correct.
Down and away, 2-1. Luke Hochshaver, man, not without a job, but boy, it just doesn't seem, especially for what the Royals are paying him, that this is.
Yeah, but he's done something, though. He's doing something to contribute to the team, and he's done a decent job out there in the bullpen.
Bounced to second. Carroll retired, 1 away.
Well, because when he was a starter, and you remember this, oh my, he would, you don't know what you're going to get from this fellow. He could either pitch a real good game for about 5 innings, 6 innings, or he'd just be awful where he'd throw 110 pitches in 4.5 innings. You know, it was just awful, but, you know, it was 50-50 on what he was going to do, and I think that puts everybody in a bad mood. Players, everybody getting a bad mood when he was pitching, so he finally seen the light and stuck him out in the bullpen, and he's done a halfway decent job out there for him.
Joe Mauer, the batter. Some people think that if he were traded, or even if he stays in Kansas City, that his next role might be that of a closer, not a starter anymore, but a one-inning guy who can just, throw everything he's got at you in 1 inning, and he might have some success with that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I trust him enough to throw enough strikes. I've seen him pitch too much to think that he's going to throw it over on a regular basis and enough to be the closer. Maybe he can. I'm not sure. But we all know if the score was close here today, we'd be seeing their other guy out there instead of this guy.
That's true.
So I don't know about that one. But again, long man type, couple innings, he's probably okay. But I think the Royals seen enough of him starting. I know I did. I didn't want to see him pitching. Did you enjoy it when I never enjoyed it.
I usually meant pretty good things for the Twins.
Well, again, but it was just awful to watch. He'd either pitch good or he pitched lousy. It was one or the other. And I think Ned Yost and his staff recognized that and made some changes, and he's done well now. So good for him.
Fouled back. 8 pitches, 4 strikes, 4 balls.
That's a good swing by Joe there. Just a touch by him. Fastball, good fastball. 95. Dick, as you pointed out, he can throw it.
This is not typically where a team would pay someone over $4 million to pitch for them, but that's the Royals' lot in life here with Hochshaver. 2-2.
At the time, they were sort of stuck because he showed signs that he can do it. It's just that he was inconsistent with it and got himself into a decent spot and pitched enough good games where the Royals still wanted to believe he could get the job done, but I think he's in the right spot now out in the bullpen, but maybe someday he can start again. Who knows?
Two and 2 to Mauer. Twins down to their last couple of outs here in the ninth. And fouled over the tarp.
That's 95. The ball's live. There's no question about it. He's got enough pitches to throw. He's being located and having the confidence to throw him for strikes.
Look at Hochschild in the role that he's in, and you wonder whether it might not be that he would be a modern-day version of what LaTroy Hawkins was about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, that might be right. You're right.
And LaTroy still pitching.
That's still going.
2-2 to Mauer from Hochschild. Now 3-2.
One might have nicknamed him.
But Perez got him back away from
Well, he was sitting on the outside part of the plate and had to reach way across. This is what I'm talking about. Hochschild, you know, the catcher sitting almost in the outside batter's box, right-handed batter box, and he threw the ball way down and in. You know, he missed by a good 3 feet on that pitch. See where the catcher goes here.
Full count to Mauer. Wastes another one.
Boy, nice pitch right on the outside part of the plate. About 95 miles an hour. Tough pitch. And the pitch before he missed so badly, and that one he was spot on. Inconsistent.
Another 3-2 to Mauer. Toward the hole. Backhanded by Escobar. Beautiful play, but Hosmer can't dig out a low throw. Mauer will get credit for a 1-out single.
It's a good try here by Escobar. He goes to his right. He gets his backhand play. And I'm not so quite sure, Dick, if he shouldn't have set his feet here a little bit, but he gives it to Derek Jeter, and it just doesn't get there in time. And it's just that in-between hop for Hosmer, and it makes it for a real tough pick by the first baseman. But excellent play by the shortstop.
That'll leave Mauer at first with 1 out and Morneau at the plate. 0 for 2 with a walk.
I know it's my job, Dick, but do you think he should have set his feet before he threw that ball?
Well,
he chose not to run, and the ball was hit very hard, I thought. I'm not trying to find fault with the guy, and he's done a very good job playing shortstop, and you know, he trusts his instincts and all that, and that was all good. But I really thought he was going to set his feet before he threw that one.
I know in talking to Moustakas before the game, he was talking about Hosmer and how good he is at first base, digging out low throws. And towering pop-up short left field, and it's Moustakas retreating with the shift on. You know, I suppose you get a little spoiled over there, and you saw it too with Kent Hrbek at first base.
True.
Not that there's any excuse for being sloppy with your throws, but how many low throws and wide throws did Herbie dig out for your infield?
Yeah, that's for sure. He could do it with the best of them, no question about it. And I guess I do get a little spoiled. A little spoiled about that.
2 down, and Domet last hope for the Twins. Mauer will go to second, and the Royals could not care less. Defensive indifference getting him over to second. Domet with an RBI single, and before Mauer's infield hit here in the ninth, Domet's single in the fourth not only was the last hit, but the last Twins base runner. And Domet flips it foul, 1-1.
That's another good pitch by Hochschild here. It's 95 and it's down and on the outside corner in the 4 spot there, where all pitchers are taught to throw that fastball, and Hochschild has hit that spot a couple times tonight. Excellent job.
In.
There's that one he misses again by 3 feet, but you know, he can. The ball just looks like it starts sailing on him or something. I don't know, but that's not even close to where the catcher was.
20th pitch of not a mop-up inning, but what Ned Yost was hoping would be a quick inning.
Well, it's nothing we haven't seen from Hochschild before.
3-1. Polabello on deck.
I'm sure this is going to be a fastball near the outside part of the plate. And I'm curious to see the outfield's thinking that that Ryan's going to hit the ball the other way, and I sort of am too.
And a walk fills first base.
That's why I don't think he can be the closer.
Yeah.
He just doesn't, for me, just doesn't throw enough strikes. Be a nervous wreck. What was that 6-pack that 2-pack that Earl Weaver used to 2 packs of cigarettes?
Right.
Was that Stewart that he had out there?
Right.
Pitching, and
Sammy Stewart.
Stewart go through 2 get the job done, but for the most part Sammy got the job done, but Earl had to go through a couple packs.
And now the Royals have to warm up their closers,
which is good news. Get them. Make them sweat it out.
Polabello takes inside ball 1.
Wow.
Well, the umpire's tightening up his strikes.
Well, he's probably upset with what's going on. You think that was a ball? See that one on that Fox straps. I thought that was a strike. I think if you were at home watching, you thought it was a strike as well.
Polabello tries to hit a 3-run home.
Yes, he did. Good hard fastball again. 95. He's topping out at here, and that moves up in the zone. Tough to catch up with that one. When it's down, you got a little bit better chance. When it's up in the eyes, it's tough to handle. Tough to get the bat in that position.
And now down around the outside corner, swing and a miss.
That's just nasty right there. This guy's certainly capable. There's no question. I think that's why he's still in the Royals. They're still holding out hope he's going to get it, because he certainly throws it hard now.
Number 1 overall pick a few years ago.
You can see the talent, the live arm, no question.
And a breaking pitch ends the game.
Yes.
Twins leave a couple on in the 9th, and the Royals, hottest team in baseball right now, extend their winning streak to 7 games with a 7-2 win over the Twins.
Irvin Santana, too much for the Twins tonight. Did a great job. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Outstanding job. Didn't let the crooked number go up on the board. Unfortunately, the Royals were able to put up the crooked number, and that was enough to get the job done. So bullpen did a good job